Panther Nation, the C3 Podcast, brought to you by CarolinaCatChronicles.com.
I had fun, man, just out, you guys joking, we working at the same time, putting the work in as a team. Like I said, I'm just glad to be with the guys,
My favorite night of the week?
We're going to go out there, and we're playing to win. We're not out here just to show up. We're out here to win.
I don't want guys that want to win. Because really, who doesn't? Nobody wants to win. Everybody wants to win. I want players that hate to win.
This embodies everything that we are as a team, as an organization. Our motto is keep pounding. And that's what we do. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, what's up, Panther fans? It's your boy, the Professor, a.k.a. Tony Dunn. This is the C3 Podcast, but it's kind of a special night. 2 nights in a row, it's the draft, and it is day 2 of the C3 Live Draft Party. Hanging out here tonight with my boy Jay Cryer from all the way in England. Where are you in England again?
I'm just outside Birmingham tonight. I've come back home for the weekend, so...
Give us a reference point to London. North?
2 hours.
No, which direction?
2 hours north of London.
2 hours north, head. So right in between you and between London and Scotland.
Yeah, it's called the Midlands. We're smack bang in the middle of the country.
Fantastic. Well, that makes sense. The Midlands. And we're doing a 2 tonight with Mel Mayock. We got him 2 nights in a row. How about that?
Yes, sir, man. It might be setting a record.
Yeah, that is. All right, so you guys, second night of the draft, round 2 and round 3 tonight. The Panthers have 3 picks on the board. Mel, what are they? 40, 64, 98?
That's it, man. And this is where you take a good draft and you make it great. This is where the real work is. Yeah,
that's the truth. All right, so all right, so last night, just a real recap. Mel, you got it on the TV right now? I haven't even fired it up.
I got it on the TV, man.
All right, what's going on? What are we at?
They're still hyping it up.
Okay.
They're getting ready to start with pick 33. They hadn't done it yet.
All right, so
hadn't started.
Okay. All right, so guys, last night we were here. There was a lot of chaos. We talked about, just real quick to recap some of those things, is that the Panthers, they drafted 8. Surprised Jay and I, but probably shouldn't have been as surprised as we were. We just kind of trying to guess Gettleman's temperature or temperament, and they drafted Christian McCaffrey. Supposedly, I heard today there's a lot of cool stuff on the internet the Panthers are putting out, that WFNZ is putting out about how this went down, and specifically that this is a guy, they had it down to Jamal Adams, they had it down to O.J. Howard, and also Christian McCaffrey. When Jamal Adams went to, I guess, 6 to the Jets, somewhere in there, 5 or 6?
Yep, 6.
So that made this decision. Fournette goes at 3. They showed interest in him, but, he wasn't going to make it, and they weren't going to give the Kings ransom for him. So they wait to pick 8 to see what's going to happen. And what you got was at 6, Jamal Adams goes to the Jets. At 7, the Chargers, who could have also been interested in a safety, they were saying, or potential wide receiver, but weeks ago supposedly were linked to Christian McCaffrey in some way. Then went.
Let's not forget David Newton. Let's not forget David Newton reported Christian McCaffrey was going to the Chargers.
Oh wow. So then on top of that, they go. The Chargers go with Corey Davis. That's his name, right?
Yeah.
Oh, the Chargers went with Mike Williams.
Oh, they did. So where was Corey Davis in this? I thought he was the first wide receiver.
He went 5. He went 5th. That's right.
And who was that to?
He went Tennessee.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Tennessee. Then Mike Williams, and then the Panthers put in their pick with Christian McCaffrey. The way that I heard it is that they were deciding between O.J. Howard at that point and Christian McCaffrey, and the kind of consensus was
Joe, they were down to between your guy and my guy, and they went with my guy. Yeah. Either one would have been great. Either one would have been.
So, guys, this is one thing that comes out of this is they said that Ron Rivera had a big smile on his face as this happened. He comes out of the war room. Kroger on WFNZ, he said that Dave Gettleman came out looking a little somber. Not as just like beaming and bubbly, maybe like he has in the past. I guess he just wanted, maybe he felt like this is something he had to do, but I bet he was tempted by Lattimore and some other people like that. On top of that, somebody brought up a point, and I'll turn it over to you guys on this, is what in the world, if we were so sold on OJ Howard, like as in to the point where we had to make the decision, flip of the coin, when OJ Howard drops and drops and drops, how come the Panthers didn't move back in and go after him?
You know why? It's because they see so much value in the depth of this draft that they were willing to give up Coney Ely just to move up 8 spots in this draft. So to give up multiple picks, they were not ready to do it for really anybody, I don't believe. So I think
they want 2 or 3 more players. They need 2 or 3 more players at least, don't they? So you just couldn't afford to do it. Our offense is stale.
Yeah, the kind of cool thing is as these guys were slipping, you're starting to wonder if we could get them in the second, But
right.
That leads us to tonight's discussion, and then we'll go back and talk a little bit about the first round some more. But guys, we're going into the second round of the draft. We got pick 40. We got 2 picks in the second, 1 pick in the third, and then we got another pick in the fourth that's not too far out. So I think it's like 114 or something like that, or maybe I'm wrong about that. I feel like we have a pick.
I thought we gave up our 4th rounder for the punter.
Oh, really? I thought we had. I guess we have 4 picks.
We've gained one. We've gained another one. No, because we had 4 in the top 105. Was it something like that?
I swore. I thought we had. Yeah, I thought we had 4 in the top 100, and then
we've already had 1, and we've got 3 tonight, haven't we?
Yeah, and then on the outside, we have picks tomorrow, right?
Oh yeah.
So I guess that's what I'm saying. In the 4th round, we should be pretty high up in the 4th, right? Or are you saying that's the pick that we sacrificed?
I think that's the pick we gave up for the Cleveland punter last year.
Well worth
it.
Did
we get it back from New England? Not that one, but a 4th round pick.
Yeah, I feel like we swapped thirds, right? Hold on, let me see. Panthers.
Real quick before we get started here, who you guys eyeing tonight? Who y'all want at 40?
Buda Baker. I like Zay Jones as well.
Oh, I'd love to see my ECU compadres get Zay Jones, man.
Yeah, I don't know. I got my ECU shirt on tonight, guys, just for that.
Tony, just think if we get Zay Jones at 40 and Josh Jones at 64. We get ECU and NC State.
Let's address the offensive line first and get Cam Robinson if he's on.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I agree. All right, so Shockhead said the Browns get our 4th round pick in 2018.
Okay, so that's next year.
Oh, okay.
Okay, good.
So let me see.
Him on.
Thank you, Shaq.
Have any games to call tonight?
We get pick 8, pick 40, pick 64, pick 98. Yeah, we get pick 115 and 152 tomorrow. 192, 233. So look, that pick 115 here is the thing. Is that one you package that with the 98 and you can move up in the 3rd. So we could, or you something like that. You get Cam Robinson at 40, and then you got a guy sitting out there like potentially a Zay Jones at 48. I don't. These guys are going to go quick because Obi, Zay Jones, but another one is who's the kid? Is it Hunter?
What about Samuel from Ohio State?
I know that.
Hey,
go ahead.
How did Green Bay get on the clock? Did they make a trade? They're up on number.
Didn't they trade last night?
They traded the Browns.
Okay. All right. So they're on the clock.
Gotcha. So they're on the clock. All right.
The Browns took the 29, and they got 33 and the 4th rounder.
Man, they're probably going to take Cam Robinson or Forrest Lamb. I bet they take Forrest Lamb.
All right, so Joe, who do you want at 40?
Cam.
Cam Robinson?
Yeah.
How
I
did
just
he
think
slip
we need
so
to
far? I don't
shore up.
understand how he slipped so far.
I don't either, man. Have you seen the size of that dude's hands? And he gets out and runs so well. He's a top 15 talent in my mind.
Where are Green Bay looking to improve them, Mel? Where are they weak? Says their defense was 22nd in the league.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and they lost Julius Peppers, so I wouldn't be surprised if they go for a big pass rusher here. I'm not real up on who's available as a pass rusher other than Jordan Willis, but I'm sure there's several. But they always look to upgrade that offensive line and protect Aaron Rodgers.
Did you boys that video I shared of the Falcons pick wearing his Panthers jersey?
I love that. I also heard Reuben Foster hung up on the Saints last night.
He did.
But you know, my prediction for Green Bay is they go Dalvin Cook.
Mm-hmm.
What do you mean he hung up on the Saints?
He was on the phone with the Saints for the 32nd pick. They were talking about taking him, and then the 49ers called him at pick 31 and said, "We're going to take you." So he went,
really?
Yeah, buddy, I like that.
Funny.
What is that, Reuben Foster?
Yeah,
That's good.
That was a good pick.
that was
Because
a
he's
great
the one
pick.
that they reckon's real talented. He's got bad shoulders and he's a bit.
Well, he snapped at a nurse at a hospital.
Oh, I saw that as well. Yeah.
You know, but he might be the best player in this draft. He is freaking phenomenal. I mean, he is Thomas Davis 2.0.
Okay, so just I do want to point out a couple of other names to be thinking about here that the Panthers have met with at defensive end. A lot of people like Derek Rivers out of Youngstown State, who, by the way, just found out recently that is from Kinston, North Carolina, 30 minutes from here. So that's one name. We had met with that Tack McKinley. Wormley, Chris Wormley's out there, who's projected second or third round pick. A lot of people like him. We've met with him. DeMarcus Walker from Florida State, and
What about the guy from Florida that got in trouble? Is he like totally out of the draft?
who? DeMarcus Walker?
Is that? I think he was from the Gators.
Okay.
I'll
Well,
tell you
this
that- I'll tell you one
guy,
guy to keep
this
an eye on
guy's
is-
from
is
Florida
Kevin
State.
Okay.
What about this? Is another name to be thinking about is Jordan Willis from Kansas State.
Yeah, we brought him in and we like him a lot. I would not be surprised. I'm hoping he's the guy at 64, but he could be in play at 40. He's a very solid edge rusher, and we do need one. That would not be a bad pick.
Will Obi Falu, or however you say his last name, make it to 64?
Who's that?
Melifonwu.
The big safety he was on about.
I doubt he
Yeah.
makes it.
He shouldn't. Joe,
You know-
I'm going to tell you guys, if you guys get a chance, you should go and check out CarolinaCatChronicles.com because I put up a story, a quick one on Obi today, but I had run across some stuff from Obi last week. There is RSP Film Room. It's by these guys over at footballguys.com. We're one of their kind of people, offshoots. And they break down film, and I watched 30 minutes of film with them. I just watched. They are the ones that broke it down. But I'm going to tell you something about Obi is that I think that the easy draft discussion about him is to say that he is an athlete and he hasn't played like he's a phenomenal athlete, but he's not refined. But this guy, you watch his tape, dude, he's never out of position. He's making plays. He just doesn't lay these giant hits. He kind of protects his body a little bit. He always tackles well, though. He just doesn't make those hits where I think you.
Big hitters in the league, big hitters in the NFL are a dying breed.
Yeah.
I've
And
just got an interesting thing to ask you boys. Right over here with our football, say if you spot like a young lad and he's got the potential but he hasn't got the experience. You can obviously sign him and then sort of loan him out to like a lower league, like a development league. Do you think that would be something that could potentially ever happen where players can draft players and send them to like Canada for 12 months experience but keep them on their roster?
That's what the NFL Europe used to be, right? But it never really stuck.
No, but they've talked about making like a NFL minor leagues.
I think they're actually working on one right now that is going to be like 7-on-7 or something like that. Or I don't
play in the off season.
I think it's a fantastic idea. I think that it would be well served for the NFL because I think the problem is that college has served as a developmental league, and it really ruins the relationship between academics and.
I think
the only thing stopping a real farm league like that is the whole
NCAA,
the whole injury issue. Well, the NCAA and injuries. Kevin King went off the board at 33 to Green Bay.
They needed a defensive back, so that's a good pick. I was watching film on. I was watching some tape of CMC, and I saw him put a move on Kevin King that left him looking like really bad.
Let me tell you, CMC is the most instinctive vision runner that I've seen. I mean, he just knows how to hit the creases. It's going to be fun to watch him develop, guys. It really is.
The other question I've got for you, boys, is obviously you're trying to promote the sport over here at the moment, yeah?
Yep.
And trying to get people into playing it. But what's going to be the route for people coming from outside of America? Because obviously you have the odd one, you don't mind making, you can allow him to come in like the German lad last year. But what happens if you're getting like hundreds and hundreds of people from all around the world trying to get into the NFL every year? How are you gonna work it? Because at the moment they have to come through college to qualify for the draft, don't they?
Well, they have regional combines where at different parts of the country they'll invite several people from different states to come to this combine and work out. And they have scouts there who run them through the drills and take notes, and that's one way they get like free agents, people who don't make the combine, who don't get drafted. They go to these regional combines and get a chance to show what they can do in front of NFL scouts. So I imagine it would be something like that.
Yeah.
So boys, the Jaguars just traded up to 34. So we'll see what they're going to want to do. Probably I'm going to guess Cam Robinson.
Hey, just listen to this. Listen to this about Kevin King. He's 6'3". He weighs 200 pounds, and he runs a 4.43. He had one of the highest vertical jumps. He had a 39.5-inch vertical jump, a 6.56 second 3-cone drill. He's a dominant athlete, dude. He's at the top.
He would have been wicked over there against opposite of Bradbury. That would have been an amazing.
He looks like a skinny, you-know-what to me.
He is skinny. He's only 200 pounds and 6'3".
Yeah, he looks.
That cornerback yesterday that went. He's only 5'10". He's tiny. What's he gonna do against somebody like KB?
Who's that?
One of the last cornerbacks that went yesterday.
Oh, he's probably gonna have to play nickel or something. Oh, did you guys hear about the stuff with KB?
Yeah, weighing 280.
About him being 280 pounds.
That can't be. How does Frank Garcia know that?
I don't know.
I mean, I guess he just saw him and said, "Look, 280."
I was gonna send KB a message on Twitter and say, "Hey, why don't you take a picture of yourself and squash all these rumors about you weighing 280 pounds?"
I think that's a good point.
Do you remember the Washington Redskins, the Hogs, that offensive line?
Yeah.
They averaged about 285 pounds.
Yeah.
I mean, and now
have you ever seen Brock Lesnar? Have you ever seen Brock Lesnar at 265 pounds? There's no way Calvin Benjamin's weighing 280.
If he is 280, we have our
right tackle.
Yeah.
Too bad he can't block worth of crap.
Yeah. Well, he could be tight end. He could play tight end.
He'd be saying the right tackle is eligible receiver.
I'm just gonna go get my charger, boys.
All right.
All right,
Yeah,
so Mario Marcioni says the problem isn't college per se; it's that there isn't another league that has the quality competition in the world as the college system does. I.e., if you don't know if they can play unless they play college ball.
Right.
And that I think is ultimately the need we need a developmental league. And I think the reason you need it is there's all these poor guys that aren't ready to make a 53-man roster right out of school. But, man, that doesn't mean they couldn't if they continue, just like the minor leagues.
Those like guys, Demir Bird. Demir Bird could have really used a year in a developmental league.
Yeah, he's got to grow into his man body. Yeah. He's got there's so many things that need to be done. So, by the way, guys, I do want to put out that we are back on Facebook Live, Periscope, and YouTube Live. So it's not just YouTube Live. I got things back somehow.
Hey, how about a shout out to the record-setting attendance we had for the show last night?
That's pretty insane, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
C3
family is growing big time.
I don't understand. I think it's a mistake, personally.
No, it can't be a mistake, man.
I mean, it's not a mistake, but somebody got a hold of our video. So, guys, what happened was that somehow we have 4,500 views on the C3. 55. That's right. 5,500 views on last night's draft show, which is freaking amazing. So while you're speaking of it, let's check this out. Why don't you go ahead and smash that like button right now as you're watching on YouTube, on Facebook, on Periscope. If you're watching on Periscope, hit the share. Right? Just share that sucker. Same thing on Facebook. Yeah. And I'm going to encourage y'all, why don't you drop this on Facebook in a group? Why don't you let Panther fans...
Yeah, do us solid.
Yeah. Let us know that you enjoy having independent sports content.
Man.
Who is it?
Cam.
They got Cam Robinson? All right.
Damn it. That was my prediction. That sucks.
Traded up for him. That was really smart. So who does that leave? Who does that leave in the same vein?
Forrest Lamp.
Oh, his girl or wife is a bombshell. Oh my God.
Dude, I so wanted Cam Robinson. Golly.
I already see one of us, Melissa, gave us a share. Thank you very much. We appreciate that on YouTube, on Facebook. Cam Robinson, I think that was a mistake by a lot of teams to pass on him.
Yeah, absolutely. He's a dominant player, man.
Look at how big he is.
His arms are huge. He's got frying pan hands. Whew.
If you can't make him a tackle, you can move him inside to guard, and he'll do well.
Oh, yeah, I think he could definitely play right tackle with ease.
They said he's like Eric Flowers, is what they're comparing him to on.
Man, I really had hopes. I really did genuinely have hopes for him.
But you know what? Eric Flowers never got out and pulled the way Cam Robinson did. Cam Robinson got out and pulled and the running attack. He would have been the perfect Panther tackle, in my opinion.
All right, so a lot of people calling for Zay Jones at 40. I'm really amazed. We were talking about this. I was on Pirate Radio today, and on top of that, the owner of Pirate Radio is a Bears fan. And
nice.
Now, Cliff is a Redskin fan, right?
So what? Cliff's a Redskins fan. Ultimately, but the guy was so livid about what happened last night. He got on there and cursed like a damn sailor on the radio. Clip had to hold the dump button down. And
there is no explanation for that, man. Wow.
And the crazy thing about it is that he was saying that, or it's not crazy, but I think it's interesting, and there's absolutely zero debate of whether or not there's nobody that's taking the side of the Bears. I guess that's what I'm trying to say.
Right. Nobody's defending them. All right, so
panicked, didn't they?
the Seahawks are on the clock, man. They probably go. If I'm them, I go Forrest Lamp, but I'm afraid they may go EFO here.
He fits the
Well, since they're probably going to – are they losing Earl Thomas?
he fits the nasty, like big, powerful safeties, doesn't he?
Yeah, they love that Legion of Boom, but, man, that offensive line sucks. So if I'm them,
Did they trade back yesterday, the Seahawks? Because it was about 5 o'clock in the morning by the time they come on.
I don't know.
I don't remember them picking. Did they trade back with somebody?
I don't know what the Seahawks did yesterday.
So
who did they pick?
the Seahawks.
I'll have to have a look
here,
at my
I'll
phone and have a
pull it
look
up.
because I can't remember.
I heard the Seahawks were interested in Mahomes.
Well, he's gone. So.
I know, but that's why.
Why would they be interested in him? They got Russell Wilson.
These people are stacking up. You got these teams that are trying to stack up. Seahawks trade out of the first round, add 3 additional picks from last night. The Seahawks traded with the Falcons, and it looks like they got the Falcons. Well, they got 31st overall. They must have traded that too, as well as a 3rd, 95, and a 7th. The Seahawks then traded again the 31st pick to San Francisco for an early 2nd rounder. So they're going and a 4th. So they're going to have 2 seconds, a third, 2 thirds, and 2 fourths.
I feel like they do it every year. I feel like they trade out the first round almost every year.
Oh, the Cleveland Browns released our boy Gary Barnidge.
Yes. Oh, I meant to ask you guys, what do you guys think about
I'd take Gary Barnidge back in a heartbeat.
why? Just because they got Njoku? That, like what? You don't got room for 2 tight ends on your team?
Right. Gary Barnett is a player, man. Or Gary Barnidge is a player. I think I told y'all a couple shows ago, little known fact about Barnidge is every year he and D'Angelo Williams go to the WWE WrestleMania together.
Oh, yeah, I remember you saying. I love the Seahawks game every year, you know. See who they pick. That year when we beat them at their place was just the best.
It was.
Yeah.
Scored that touchdown. That was probably my favourite game as a Panthers fan so far.
Yeah, when we came back, we were down 15 points in the 4th quarter.
Yeah.
All right, so let's see who they get. Malik McDowell. That's a good pick. He's a good player. At one point, I had him mock going in the top 10. He's an elite defensive end, 295 pounds. He really is a good player. But he was not on our radar, so I'm kind of glad they took him. That's one less spot. Because I put up a story, guys, this morning. 5 players that I wanted. One's already gone. I said I wanted. I said I wanted Cam Robinson. I want Obi.
Yeah.
I want Zay Jones.
Yeah.
And I want Pat Elfine, but he's really a target for 64.
I watched Zay Jones in the what do you call it over there? Something bowl where you have all your potential draftees playing in one game.
The combine.
It wasn't the combine. It was like an all-stars game.
The Senior Bowl.
Yeah, Senior Bowl. I watched the highlights and he looked brilliant, didn't he, Zay Jones?
Yeah, he's really. He went to Tony and Joe's alma mater there. All right, so Arizona's pick is in at pick 36, so we're getting close, boys.
You're miles in front of me, Mel.
Wow. So the Bears traded, and look what they got back. Did you see they got 4 picks, 3 this year, 1 next year.
Dang.
So they got a bunch of picks back, they got some of the picks back that they lost yesterday, but I think they're a lesser value.
Yeah. So so Arizona gets a 36th in the 7th round.
They need a quarterback. What quarterback is left out there? Deshaun Kaiser, maybe?
Chicago Bears get the 45th overall pick, 4th round 119th, 6th round 197th, and a 2018 4th round pick.
Yeah.
They had to do that, really, didn't they?
They did. They had to
What
get
do you
some
guys
picks.
think about Josh Dobbs?
Something Davis or Davis Webb. He's available. Josh Dobbs. I can't see him going this early though.
I enjoyed watching the Cardinals all or nothing when we eliminated them.
Man, that was a fun game to watch.
I think that was 2 years in a row, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, because wasn't that when Fingy fumbled the punt, Ted Ginn?
Yeah, the best play he ever did for the
Yeah,
Panthers.
I remember that.
Yeah.
That was when they were with like the third or fourth choice quarterback as well, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And we nearly threw it away in the second half, didn't we?
Yeah.
I think
That's the year we went. I think we went 8-8, made the playoffs, and then beat
Cam
them.
threw a pick, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was
So-
that year.
So I wonder who the Cardinals. I wonder if they're going to go quarterback here. Man, that kills me. Cam Robinson went. Man, that's the guy I wanted.
Mm-hmm.
They've just given a lot to move up, so there's somebody they're keen on.
Yeah. And they need a quarterback because Carson is. I mean, his teeth are so long, he's tripping over them when he runs.
Who's next best quarterback on the board then?
Maybe Deshaun Kaiser. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
I'm not real educated on the quarterbacks this year, so I don't know which other ones are still out there.
Do you get much access to the games over there, or is it just one game a week? Like they choose who's on TV?
Yeah, you can get on DirecTV. You can get every
You can watch-
game.
Well, you can go to any local pub and all the games on.
Yeah, and you get this. This is the way it goes. You get one game. There's two channels that the games come on on Sundays.
Yeah.
So the 1 o'clock game, you're either gonna have two 1 o'clock games on at the same time, or two 4 o'clock games. So if there's like two 1 o'clock games on, say, Fox, then or Fox and CBS, then like Fox will have a 4 o'clock game and there won't be one on CBS. So you can watch three games generally just on like access, like for free on television. And then and usually, but those are designated to whatever your market is. And then you can have all these other ways of getting it. And then on Sunday night, that comes on NBC, I believe. And Monday night, then you get the Monday night game. And then the Thursday night game is limited to, like, it's usually a paid channel, like the NFL Network, which is a premium channel.
Yeah, they just sold it to Amazon this year.
What's that?
Over here, the Thursday night games are going to be on Amazon.
Oh yeah, Amazon Prime, and then they're gonna have also. I think it's on Twitter too. Is it on? I guess did Twitter lose the rights too for that then?
Yeah, they only had it for 1 year.
Okay. Ken Dye is with us now.
I pay £100 a year for the Game Pass, and I can watch every game live or recorded.
Yeah.
Fox just took Butter-Baker. Sorry, hi guys. Was picks Butter-Baker.
Yeah. Okay. Cardinals just picked Buda Baker.
Oh, there we go then.
There's your guy. Which means though, here we go, is that look, the Panthers are waiting and waiting. Will Obi-Wan, and then there's the other one. I don't think the Panthers. What about Jabril Peppers, guys?
No, he's already gone.
Oh, did he go last night?
Yeah, he went towards the end to the Browns.
That's right. All right, so who does that leave at safety?
Just a big guy now, because Buda Baker was the one I wanted, but Thing is, they're obviously just not prioritising safety, are they? They obviously, is it Mike Adams? Is that his name, the new guy?
Yeah, but he's old.
So they got Trey Boston to cover as a backer. They're obviously comfortable going in.
Looks like Josh Jones would be the next safety from North Carolina State, which he has the athleticism that you want. He's got the size and the speed of an Obi Melifonwu, but he is, I don't think he's anywhere in the same class today in like where he is, like his understanding of the game or his reaction. You know, one of the things that they talk about with Obi is that he doesn't that he's kind of slow instinctually, so he can get there, he can make these plays because he's so fast, but if you actually look at his feet, he's not breaking fast enough. But I mean, I don't really buy it, but I think you can see that with Josh Jones. Sometimes he looks like he's just all out of sorts trying to find where he needs to be in the formation. Shot Kid said I had too many drinks because I forgot Jabril Peppers. I did have too many last night. I was struggling today.
I was drinking for about 12 hours.
My thing is that when we start talking football, man, like this, I take these big sips, man. And so all of a sudden I'll go through 3 beers in an hour and it's a wrap.
Thing is, I quit smoking since last year and just replaced it with drinking.
Yeah, I've been messing with them too much lately.
Yeah.
Well, now the Bills, they traded up and their picks in. We'll see.
Bills trade up from get the Rams pick number 37. I don't know what the terms are just yet. It says,
are they going to get Kaiser?
Look, it says Rams trade out of 37 with Buffalo. Oh, Bills are hoping for Zay Jones. I just saw somebody hoping for him, but they just traded out, so that means they're not going to get him. It looks like this.
They get the 44th.
Yeah.
Switch for 44.
Look this Jones, man.
They got it looks like the Rams received pick 44 second round and pick 91 for the third. The Bills move up in the second to 37, but move all the way but received a pick 149 in the fourth round.
Dang,
we're going to find out how much the Panthers value those 2 signings that they made, Charles Johnson and the lad from the Bucks.
There goes. Wait. Then they trade. Wait. The Bills just took Zay Jones. Dang it!
I just said that like 20 minutes ago.
I didn't even hear you say that.
Nap sense. I mean, come on.
I thought we were talking about Buda Baker and the trade.
No, I just said the Bills took Jones. I guess you were talking, maybe they hear me.
I thought you said. I thought you said that they were hoping to get Jones at 44. Whoever traded with him then.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
that's a shame.
I went and got my popcorn, and there went Zay Jones. All right, so it's got to be EFO now.
Okay, so Chargers are on the clock, then the Jets. So the Chargers, what were they in the market for last night? They got a wide receiver.
Safety. Everyone thought they were going to go Malik Hooker, didn't they? Safety, so this will be a safety.
Uh-oh.
They could go Buda Baker. They could go Buda Baker or EFO.
Buda Baker's just gone.
Yep, Buda Baker's gone. Look, how about this? Is Lynn?
Who took Baker?
Whoever just picked just before that one.
Cardinals.
Cardinals, yeah, they traded up for him.
All right, so this is what Lynn's saying on YouTube. I think this is good. What WTH, which is obviously a reserved way of saying what I know, but what we would have said was the other one.
Right.
DG sat on his hands, and we lost Cam and now Zay.
Well, I feel the pain, but you know what? This is such a deep draft that sitting back and getting 2 players is valuable. They could get Forrest Lamp,
I agree.
And then a Josh Jones or something. So, moving up in this draft is kind of hard to do. So, I feel the pain because I wanted Cam. I would have traded up to get Cam, but I understand standing pat.
No, I would have traded up for Leonard Fournette.
Salty.
He is.
So you still drinking the haterade?
You know, I'm just going and saying that's the obvious physical freak in the whole draft in years. I just astonished.
I don't agree with the trade up there just because of how much you would have had to give to get up there. It's just not worth it. I don't care. You know, like one injury and then all of a sudden you've ruined the.
How many of them actually alone become a star? What are the odds like? 50-50 when you get in round 2 and then 33% at round 3.
Well, actually, your odds in the first aren't as good as you would think. So, like, I mean, if you go back and look at first round picks, you know what I'm saying? Like Fournette, the opportunity for him to not pan out, not because, you know, it could be injury, it could be anything, is just as strong as for Christian McCaffrey or somebody else. So,
yeah, but the thing is, his upside is so high. We don't even.
Yeah, but so is McCaffrey's, and he impacts so many different phases of the game. I'm very happy.
Yeah,
and you got to remember, we got Bradbury in the second last year, and I honestly think he's going to be our number 1 cornerback for, like, you know, potentially his whole career. He looks brilliant to me. I really, really, really like him.
Me too. All right, so the Chargers pick is in. Now, if they don't go safety here, that means Efo is going to be ours because the Jets took Jamal Adams in round 1, so they're not going to Efo.
You think we're going to go safety here?
OB, I'm sorry, not Efo.
I kept wondering who that Efo was. So you're thinking we're going to go safety if they don't take him?
Well, I think Forrest Lamp has to be in play, but I would think Obi would be the number 1 target. Obi's got to be the – we took him out to lunch. We've met with him 3 times. He's got to be way up on our list.
Surely if they liked him out,
they lost – what's his name? Who was their safety for 10 years that went to Baltimore.
Oh, yeah, the white guy.
Eric Berry. Not Eric Berry. Waddle, is it?
Yeah, Eric Weidl or something like that.
That's it.
We wanted to sign him, didn't we? He was one of the Panthers the year before. He was one of the Panthers
that's
targets. Right. But we had no money.
But we had no money. That's the truth. No money.
I think they're going to take our boy now.
I'm going to be mad if, like, all the guys we want go right, just, like, 1 pick ahead of us.
I don't think Getterman's after him because he would know that they're likely to go safety 1 pick in front. So he would have moved up if he was really keen.
Man in the NFL in his day. Sean Merriman,
yeah.
Merriman, he was a bad man.
Lights out Sean Merriman.
I love watching all the America's game because I obviously don't know about all the history.
Lamp.
Merriman was the one that got blocked by Maurice Jones-Drew.
They went.
Oh, he was.
They went Forrest Lamp.
Mm-hmm.
That's what you know who called that was Shaked.
Shaked, he's a smart dude.
I sent him an invite too, by the way, on Twitter. I know he. So that's where it's at.
He's a big dude.
Who? Forrest Lamp.
Yeah.
God. Jets now. Well, the Jets at least don't need a safety.
That's right. So
yesterday.
Obi's going to be there if we want him.
I got a question. What are the chances the Panthers coming back?
What's that?
What are the chances of the Panthers picking up a second running back?
Oh, man, I hope not. I mean, now I love Dalvin Cook, but I mean, why would you do that?
If you use a number 8 on one, I wouldn't. You know, I mean, that's too much to use a second one.
And they've just played Fuzzy Whittaker, haven't they?
Sure. Now, I was thinking toward the end of the draft.
Oh, okay.
They've just given Fuzzy a new 2-year deal, haven't they?
Yeah, you can do about anything towards the end of the draft, though.
They're going to cut Fuzzy, I believe.
They're going to cut Cameron Artis paying.
Around, might they go for it or not?
So the guys, what about this?
it just seems to me with the draft anymore, it's really going a lot heavier with players being ranked and rated on the board and people getting a rush. All these trades up in the second round, I've never seen that many this fast. It's getting to where the 5th, 6th, 7th round are just kind of like extensions of undrafted free agency almost.
Yeah, that's true. All right, so the Jets pick is in. Who else do we want? We want Obi. I'm not sure who else our target.
Samuel. Then a lot of people are saying Perrine, like a double dip and get Perrine.
There's nothing worse than seeing like grown men dressed in suits fist pumping each other. Did you just
got Marcus May? Kind of liked him, but
Yeah.
just showing the Chargers war room and they're all fist pumping each other like 50-year-old men.
So they did go safety. Holy cow!
Who, the Jets?
Right.
Guys, I gotta say this is I'm not questioning Shaqed ever again because he has got some sort. He's tapping in. Either our pick is in. That's what
It has to be Obi.
Lynn says.
well, I was just going to say with the double safety, you got to remember what division the Jets play in with the Patriots.
That's true. Good point, Ken.
Don't go to commercial. Don't go to commercial.
More room in Charlotte.
Don't go into commercial. Dang it.
Hey, Tadeus, what's up, man?
Hey, how y'all doing?
Good.
Good. How you doing?
What's up,
Who y'all
T
think we
Man?
getting? What's up, man?
Hey, TM.
You came at a good time right before we're gonna pick. We're the next pick. They said the pick is in too.
Hope we got Obi.
Yeah, it's one of those.
That's what we were just saying. Yeah.
We'll tell you who the Panthers took right after these messages.
and about 30 seconds after Twitter tells you.
I've only just seen the Jets pick now. I'm miles behind.
So if we
There we go. Gettleman's on the screen now.
if we were going wide receiver, who would we go with here?
Carlos
I don't know
Henderson.
who the widest receiver is at this point.
The widest
okay.
receiver?
You think Carlos Henderson if we went wide receiver?
Or Cooper. Ain't Cooper still on the
Could
board?
you-
I heard that some off of Carlos Henderson. I think.
They said he
I
was
didn't-
immature because he doesn't have his license and his girlfriend drives him around.
Hey, that's just smart.
He's signed him up. He's got a chauffeur. Yeah, there you go.
I don't think, I mean, if that's immature, I mean, I think everybody lets their woman drive at some point.
All right, so yeah, I think Carlos Henderson or Curtis Samuel would be the top receiver picks.
Yeah, I don't think they're looking at Cooper either,
Cooper Cup.
or is it too early for him? I'm
Probably
not
early
sure.
for him.
I'd say the pick's got to be Obi.
Live one
What about a tight end? Too early?
My favorite three was off the board. I thought maybe Evan would still be there.
Evan Ingram.
Hodges by now.
I'm thinking it's got to be either Obi, DeMarcus Walker,
Obi.
John.
Remember last year, nobody knew. Who
You're gonna be
Bradbury was
crazy.
when the
You guys are gonna be crazy with this pick. It's breaking on Twitter. Oh, I'm
Cook, they get them and doubled up.
No, it better not be Dalvin Cook.
It's not.
Hey,
It's not. Let's just say he's very versatile.
you said let's just say what?
He's very versatile.
It's not McCaffrey's brother, is it?
It is. We got
It's
white
Steve
chocolate and dark chocolate.
So somebody black. Offensive defense.
His offense.
Oh,
That's what they're saying on Twitter. Now I don't know if
Okay, so it's Samuel. It's Samuel. He's versatile.
Come on, announce it. Announce it. Announce it.
yeah, no, it's just, that's the guy that
You
I
got
got
Curtis
told
Samuels?
is the black Christian McCaffrey that would be a first round. No, yeah, that's what I got told. He was the black Christian McCaffrey.
Come on, give it to us.
Is Curtis Samuels for real?
So where do they want him to play then?
Samuel, I think's got 4.3 speed.
Is it
He's
really?
got to be. They got to be putting him at wide receiver.
Yeah,
They saying really?
Somebody said to me that they thought he was better than McCaffrey. He was like McCaffrey but quicker.
yeah.
I don't think anybody's quicker than McCaffrey.
He's not quicker. He's faster.
He's 4.3, yeah.
Once you
God,
get
you just,
down
David Gettleman, you just can't guess what he's going to do, can you?
Did they
Like if
answer? Did they announce it
Travell-
yet, Joe?
No,
Travell Morton is announcing it.
Big Travell. What's up?
Yeah, I said that yesterday.
How do all these reporters get who it is? Like, is this the team that is leaking this?
It is Samuel.
The teams choose.
Every team has guys in there that tip them off.
Curtis Samuel, 5'11", 196 pounds, 4.3 speed. This guy plays running back, wide receiver, quarterback. He does everything. Punt
My man
returns,
is
kick
fast.
returns.
He is fast.
I've got the nickname for him already.
What's that?
Here's a story behind
That's
it.
got to be Ted Ginn's replacement then.
So now you got the vanilla milkshake and the chocolate milkshake.
Yes.
No, you've got. We
They
just
got it. I want to hear. See, like, I need to get him.
We just drafted Pest Wild. That's his nickname, Pest Wild.
Why you say that?
I need to hear Gettleman's thoughts
Story.
right after the pick. I don't want to wait until later on.
Holy crap, man! I am
We got
shocked.
to be putting him at wide receiver.
Oh yeah, he's definitely wide receiver.
Oh my God, man. This
I like
kid
Curtis
is
Samuel,
fast.
So what is this? Like, what is going on with Gettleman, guys? Last year we go 3 corners in a row, and now, like, does he just get on a kick? Like, one year we're going to draft 5 defensive ends, then the next year we're going to draft 5.
He doubles down, doesn't he? Jeez.
I think he's just trying to
Picture
I mean,
of
not
our
pinning.
I'll tell you what,
He's
this
above the
offense,
puzzle. Cam Newton, Christian McCaffrey, Curtis Samuel, Kelvin Benjamin, Greg Olsen.
this
That
offense,
sounds pretty awesome to me.
Other than Cam.
Yeah,
wow.
I agree. I love this pick, and I was thinking that this could have been the pick other than McCaffrey, but you know, today, I got to give a shout out to, I think his name is, hold on, I should know his name better. He has been, his tag on Twitter is McCaffrey Truther, and he was making an argument, supposedly, I saw it indirectly, that this would work to have McCaffrey and Samuel on the field at the same time. And look, I'm telling you, you talk about watching the Panthers replace Ted Ginn with some speed. You just did it, folks.
I'm excited now.
Absolutely.
The only thing is he's got it.
We have a formidable offense now because we have added the one dimension that we were really missing.
I agree.
Which was speed.
Yeah.
And we have it in spades now.
I'd trade back up now to get Obi, and then happy days. See you all tomorrow.
Yeah.
So you want to trade what? Our other second and a third for Obi, or other second and something later?
I'd give him a second and a third and just be done.
Cody, who did you want? Cody Lackney, he says, I don't know why I get my hopes up for certain players. And I agree, we shouldn't. Well, probably we should. I don't know. I got off that kick after Bradley Roby.
Justin Harding, sorry. That's the one you were so excited for him, weren't you?
Yeah, that's right.
And then when he went to the Falcons, I thought he was going to break down.
Yeah, Minnesota just got Dalvin Cook.
Hey, Latavius Murray and Dalvin Cook, bro. That's a 1-2 punch.
Cody Lackney said later, Obi, I barely knew you.
He could be there at 64.
But I mean, Gettleman might have felt like Obi just jumped because of his combine. And you know how Gettleman is so against that.
I don't know, man. I watched him, man. That guy can play.
He can, but to me, Buddha was always better, and I never really heard Panther Nation talk about Buddha like that.
Well, the other thing is people in the NFL are always looking for athletes these days, regardless of position.
That's what I'm saying. I think Obi jumped in a lot of mocks once his combine. Remember, he had the 41-inch vert. He already 6'4", and he ran, I think, faster than they thought he was gonna run.
Yeah, it was just kind of like a commercial for him, and he went national, I guess. Then.
Yeah.
Here's what's going down on YouTube right now. Relly says, I like Samuel, just wasn't expecting it from DG. Peekaboo says it kind of hurts that we could have had Cook at 40 and Barnett at 8. And then Relly says, man, talk about evolving the offense. Man, you went from drafting all dudes who were over 6'4" to all dudes under 6 foot.
Yeah,
It's
as if he tried the two big men, didn't he, with KB and Funches, and now he's going completely the opposite way.
I mean, but I think you need to do that to combine with them.
Compliment. Yeah, there's a nice compliment.
Imagine if you put these 4 receivers out: Kelvin and Funches on the outside, McCaffrey and Samuels in the slot.
Yeah, because that is a pretty tough matchup because each guy requires a specific type of DB to stay with
That
it.
is sick. Yeah.
Y'all will tell me what we picked, won't you?
We will.
You traded with us for Brenton Burson.
I'm sorry?
Y'all just traded us y'all second-round pick for Brenton Burson.
Yeah, Brenton Burson.
He's joking. Brenton Burson is sunshine here in North Carolina, and Brenton Burson is an undrafted free agent who's been on the team for like 10 years.
He makes 2 catches a season, but lives next door to the gaffer, doesn't he? So.
They're in the same college fraternity, apparently, 50 years apart.
Oh, and he looks like
Just a tidbit of information on Samuel. Only offensive player in college to get 700 yards receiving and 700 yards rushing.
Wow.
That's pretty awesome.
he gotta be.
Now,
I'm
that's
ready to
value.
hear.
Is that ever?
Edelman starts
Last
year or ever?
year,
Here we go.
he was the only player to do it.
I was about to say, because I know.
By the
McCaffrey
way-
had to do it the year he almost won the Heisman. He had to be close
Right.
at least.
By the way, I apologize to you guys for just disappearing last night. We had a storm blowing through, and I lost everything for about 45 minutes there.
Well,
Oh, don't worry about it.
John, since you're here right now, what do you think of the last pick of the Saints?
Now or then?
Now,
It's coming.
Because I had a nervous breakdown when they announced it. But really and truly, my reaction, my knee-jerk reaction of disappointment, it wasn't so much that I felt like we had taken bad players, which would have been a completely different thing. Both of the players are excellent players, probably the top on the board at each position at that point in time. My only, if you want to call it that, disappointment in the picks was that I put a bigger
Need at other positions.
Yes, yeah. I felt like the edge rusher should have been the priority. And for example, at number 11, we had all these guys that everybody just assumed for all this time that would be unavailable. Barnett,
Getting Barnett, yeah, Barnett.
Barnett, Foster, Reddick, all these guys. We had the opportunity, had the pick of the litter.
So who y'all taking here?
Now my question is, how did you
Had no idea,
finding
Mel.
out today that y'all were on the phone with Reuben Foster when the Niners jumped y'all?
Well, you want me to tell you an even better one?
Go ahead.
I have some contacts in some low people in high places, so to speak. And they verified to me the rumor that's been going around today that at number 11, had Kansas City not jumped us,
Y'all gonna get Mahomes?
Sean Payton was fixing to draft Mahomes.
Oh, I'd love that.
Heard that today as well.
I would
So
have loved that.
the Saints just went Marcus Williams,
yep.
Marcus Williams.
safety out of Utah.
Yeah.
I was going to say they might go
I didn't
safety.
think about
Their
it.
secondary's awful, isn't it?
No, but they draft a safety like every
last
year.
5 picks? How many safeties have gone the last 5
They
picks?
took. Remember, they took Von Bell last year. Vaccaro's still not old. They brung back. What's the safety they let go away for like a year?
You talking about Bird?
Jarius Bird.
Not Bird.
They
the
signed
other
into
one.
a big free agent contract.
It was another one y'all had.
Safety? Are you talking about Keenan Lewis? He's a corner. Safety.
He had one good year with y'all, and he left and went somewhere else. But I think he came back.
Oh, you're talking about Bush, Raphael Bush.
Yeah.
And we brought back Harper as well last year, but that was not a field a move for on the field. That was a move for in the locker room.
He did well with us, didn't he, Big Rome?
Yes, he did. The player that we got back, the Roman Harper that came back to New Orleans, was twice the player that left going to Carolina, I believe.
He's Panthers.
Man, now how I want to know
Tony
how
hated Roman when he was here.
Man, I'll tell you. So, do you think Samuel is going to be a straight up wide receiver?
He's going to have to.
I mean, not. Man,
I think they'll both be stood behind. You won't know who's going to be taking the ball and who's going to be running off.
He's going to have to be a straight slot receiver, in my opinion.
I see a lot of formation shifts in our future. Offensively, what do you think, guys?
I think the Panthers looked at it and said, "Man, we're going to have to change what we're doing. We're going to spread people out."
Funny thing, how we gonna get this without you having to come here to get the money? So they just put on the card.
I mean, I see what we're doing is if we're like lining up with a single back or something or a pistol and then sending them running back.
T-Money, you're too quiet.
Motion.
You said that what?
T-Money's too quiet. We can't really hear you that well. I can't anyway.
Oh, that wasn't me talking.
Oh, sorry.
He in the car with us.
Okay.
I don't want the people that attack in my company will take this.
So Philadelphia is on the clock here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I don't know what they're gonna need.
So
what did they get last night?
I mean, they went Barnett.
Yeah, they got defensive end, didn't they?
Mm-hmm.
Yep, they went
He was the
Barnett.
first one off the board, wasn't he? Or was he the second? No, he was the first.
The first what?
You talking about defensive end?
Well, Miles Garrett end off the board.
No.
Well, I mean, other than
Solomon Thomas
was number 2.
He was the third.
Okay.
He was the third one off the board, I think.
Yeah.
What did you think of the Falcons guy swearing? Was you all laughing?
I'm always laughing at the Falcons, man. Always.
Actually,
I don't mind he was that emotional, man. I finally watched the clip last night for myself. I don't mind.
How about I heard a guy on the radio say today that
Tony,
he thought that he was.
I'll agree with you a little bit. It did look a little bit like he was forcing it.
Yeah, but you know what they said? They said that him and his nan used to sit and watch wrestling all day long, and it was like he was cutting a promo, wasn't it? It was like he thought he was the Ultimate Warrior or
His
something.
mom?
No, him and his nan.
His dad.
I was about to say, I know he didn't live with his mom. He lived with his grandma.
No, it was his grandma. That's what I said. His nan, his grandma. That's what we call him over here. His grandma, yeah, used to sit and get him to watch wrestling all day long, and that's what he sounded like. He was just cutting a wrestling promo, didn't he?
He did. You're right. That's exactly right.
I heard a guy on the radio, guys, say that when he was watching it and he saw him walking up with that picture, he thought it was a picture of Grandmama, old Larry Johnson.
Well, remember the first impression a lot of fans get are, oh, this kid's coming in and cussing all over TV wearing a Falcons hat. Isn't that?
Come on, no, but we all grown men now.
Yeah, grown men know better than to act like that in front of millions of people and making your first impression with your new boss.
It does
Really?
make them look silly when you think they've spent all this time doing all the personality checks and stuff, making sure you're going to be a role model and represent the franchise, and then first chance he gets on stage, he starts swearing.
There you go.
They must have literally thought, "Oh no, can we?"
That's kind of like that's kind of like flunking the drug test at the combine. That's like showing up to a job interview with a beer in your hand.
Yeah, that's. We gonna get to the quarterback. I'm gonna get to the quarterback. He don't sound right to me.
Philadelphia will, at some point, is going to more than likely take receiver.
Cody Lackney said he thinks Kamara.
What happened with that Doral Beckham Green, was it, that they signed a couple of years ago?
Green Beckham, he's not done anything really.
It turns out he's stupid. That's the thing, is that sometimes it's not.
That tells you not to put too much into some of these measurables.
Yeah, I think the other thing, too, is that sometimes we confuse people's bad character with them just being kind of an idiot. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah, absolutely.
Does anybody know what his Wonderlic was? I don't know.
Well, they said this, is that I've heard a lot of things about him just not, like, knowing any of the playbook. You know, I mean, just, like, he's just having trouble.
Yeah, that's what I've heard as well. He just can't...
Could have been lazy. Yeah, that'll kill you anytime.
Well, sometimes people, I'm not trying to insult him. I don't know the dude, but sometimes people just don't have the mental capacity to do super, you know, and I mean, he might be able to run fast and jump fast, but like, that doesn't mean that the pro game requires people to be intelligent. That's why I always get mad at people when they talk crap about Cam.
You got to be smart in the NFL.
Sure. I think probably the most overhyped thing in this world, and most definitely the most overhyped thing ever in the game of football, is the combine.
Yeah.
I just couldn't imagine with our football over here. Yeah, I just couldn't imagine them signing players based on how they can jump and stuff.
They should just have some kind of all-star game where everybody can be in.
Well, you think about the combine, it minimizes what you do on the field during the season.
Never mind, that game might end up like the Pro Bowl. They might not try.
It is silly.
Well,
one point that I want to make about combine stuff, it favors the track people.
Eagles took Sidney Jones.
Just think about it.
I like Sidney Jones. He's going to be able to play this year.
But think about it. The combine's going to favor track people. Why do you think Bo Jackson ran a 4.12? It was, I mean, he's fast. But
well, see, I look at it this way. You take a guy that
400
goes to the combine. He runs a real fast 40 and a good shuttle thing. They try to make him out to be the hottest prospect. Never mind, during the season, he got beat deep just as many times as he stopped the receiver. It minimizes what you're doing on the field, in my opinion.
Why not have the players run from the natural position that they'd start off on the field in pads? Like, all you're seeing is who can start the best on a track, which is of no interest to anybody. Start off in the natural position that player plays in. So if you're a wide receiver, start in that position and wear the pads and simulate real life. Who cares who's the quickest on the track?
Well, that's kind of what the field drills are for, like catching and passing.
Yeah, but they're still like not in pads.
I don't know what.
The 40 I care about more for safety than I do for pointers. Because as a safety, you're going to have range, and your speed is going to affect it.
You know, I think here's the thing, is that what you do is the combine either verifies what you already thought or gives you pause on concerns that, you know what I'm saying, like, it doesn't make up your mind. It probably just does some things. You have some ideas that this guy is a fast player, and you just get those things verified, you know, with...
Or when you try to have people lie and say they slow it down on purpose, like Kelvin.
Yeah.
Remember Kelvin said that he slowed down on purpose so he could fall to us?
Right. Like he knew someone else, like right in front of us, wouldn't take him. I'll see a prognosticator of where he goes.
Well, he was a Panthers fan. Remember, he had that picture with him and Panthers stuff like a year or two before he came.
Well, he's not doing the drafting. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But I think it's kind of ironic that all the money that they spend and all the tests that they do and all the drills that they run, the most important variable in the whole equation is something that they have no way of gauging, and that's whether or not the guy really wants to do it anymore or not.
That's it.
That is true.
Rams on the clock. Rams pick is in.
So who's still left that y'all wanted our next pick?
I want an offensive lineman, man.
Is Obi still on the board? Or he went?
Yeah. If Obi's there, you got to take it. But I like Elflein out of Ohio.
What's our next pick, man? Is it number 6?
I'm really surprised OB is there, given the amount of safeties that have gone.
I'm telling you, a lot of people might have thought Obi was a combine warrior. Like he really just came late because of the combine.
I've heard that said about him a lot.
What, that he's like a weekend warrior type thing, workout warrior?
Yeah.
Yeah, that he jumped late because of the combine.
Yeah, his on the field didn't measure up to his combine.
He is a thumper, though, if you watch his tape.
Well, he's like some of those Seattle guys. He's an oversized for his position.
Right. Who, Obi?
Yeah.
6'4".
Yeah, that's why I think that, they've got tape to watch. That's why they don't put them in pads and run drills. Well, that's what,
I'm telling you, I watched 38 minutes of his tape, and it didn't look bad. I'm going to tell you that.
With the computers, they can measure how fast you're going, where you're going, how far you're traveling.
Well, let me ask you guys something.
That sort of thing.
You guys put on your GM hat. Had you been in the position and you made the pick last night at number 1, would you have taken Garrett?
No.
Good. I just wanted to verify that I was not the only one.
Who would you have taken?
I would have taken Fournette.
Me?
Yeah.
I would have taken Solomon Thomas.
I would have taken Fournette as the best athlete in the last 20 years.
Sure.
All right, Ken, we're going to have to put you on.
I would have given consideration to. I would have given consideration to Fournette, Thomas for sure, and Jamal Adams.
Yeah, I'd have gone Jamal Adams.
I think Jamal Adams is probably position notwithstanding. Jamal Adams is probably the best.
Why? What's wrong with Garrett, man? That dude's a monster.
What
he's a part-time monster.
I think he had 33 sacks. Is that right? And then I think, and I may be off a little bit, but this is an accurate sentiment. 27 of those sacks came against lesser opponents. Whereas you take Garrett Barnett, he had 32 sacks, and 28 of them were against SEC opponents. That tells you something.
Just a little.
Look, man, I didn't watch film. Film can be manipulated. I don't trust film. That being said, I watched Garrett play probably 4 or 5 games last year. He's not consistent. He takes plays off, chooses his spots.
Cam Robinson dominated him.
But if you want some science behind Leonard Fournette, go watch go just YouTube Leonard Fournette or Sports Science Leonard Fournette and watch those. Your jaws.
So Ken, let me ask you, who do you like in this draft?
You mean from here?
No, who would you have taken number 1?
Number 1, yeah, Fournette, because he is the most monstrous athlete that I've seen in
that was a rhetorical
this
question.
century. Yeah, I mean,
you
like
got
I
a
said,
man.
You asking that
hey,
question?
don't forget, I went to school with Bo Jackson, so I do know a little bit about it.
Yeah, no,
he's the closest thing to him. I'm telling you.
You talking about if I'm drafting as a Panther fan or a Browns fan?
Ooh, it got quiet. Excuse me.
If I'm drafting as a Brown, I'm taking Mitch or Watson.
What,
I
number 1?
Drafted Mitch Trubisky for nobody.
Yeah, I wouldn't draft Mitch Trubisky before the 3rd round. We don't know nothing about that dude.
You know who I think could be the
13
best?
starts and you're giving him the keys to the kingdom?
That whole
Yeah, 8 and
how
5.
many games you put after Fournette's freshman year, you would have drafted him at what?
1.
1.
Exactly. Like if you're good, you're good. It doesn't.
No, hold on. Look, let's go ahead and say this. Let's put a caveat on what T Money is saying here. T Money's saying that he's drafting as a Browns fan, but what he's really doing is coming at you from a Carolina Tar Heels fan perspective.
I said Mitchell Watson. I gave you the 2 choices. I'm going quarterback either way. And Mahomes is not in the picture. Mahomes played like how y'all probably play in y'all backyard on Thanksgiving.
Look, Trubisky wasn't even the best quarterback in the ACC last year.
Well, listen,
he was the most accurate quarterback in college football.
Well, Alex Smith was the most accurate quarterback last year. How'd that do?
I mean, they made the playoffs, and
12 years after he'd been playing.
And the team trades up, the mortgages their future to get rid of it.
And Mitch has a way stronger arm than Alex Smith.
I watched Trubisky play a couple of games, and I didn't. He was decent, but in terms of making him a franchise quarterback, I don't know.
Again, he balled the way he did, and where's his wide receivers going?
Oh gosh! See, first of all, I think that I don't think Carolina. I think Carolina is the greatest, the wackest team. So, I'm not going to be impressed.
All right, hold on, guys. Hold on. David Harrison has joined the show. For those of you who don't remember, David is a Tampa Bay writer for Peter Frank. Is that right, David?
Yep.
Yeah. So, he's a Bucks fan. I sent him an invitation. I want to get your thoughts, David, on Tampa Bay picking my favorite guy in the first round, O.J. Howard.
Oh, I loved it. I think he's a rare talent that's gonna help transform the Bucks offense even more, especially when you add him with Deshaun Jackson on that offense, and we'll see what they do today.
Where's that background noise coming from?
Jackson, but you've already got what's his name? Mike Evans.
Yep.
Who's got their TV on?
And Vincent Jackson's still there. Or is he gone?
Well, I mean, he's not all the way gone, but he's not. He's not.
You don't think he'll be there come the start of the season?
Yeah.
Well,
He's not
still,
under contract.
Guys,
he said he's not
Excuse
retiring.
me, guys. The Rams just took Gerald Everett, tight end.
Yeah, they did.
The Bears are on the clock.
Okay.
Gerald Everett.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Exactly. Let's get back to this Bucks
Gerald Everett,
talk,
tight end.
please.
All right. Yeah, let Joe, you lead the combo for a second.
Yeah, so you're adding him to an already pretty stacked core of receivers. How does this affect Jameis? I mean, obviously, it's a good thing, but with all that talent, what does he have to do to get them the ball?
Jameis still gonna give you chances to catch the ball. I don't care what his weapons are.
Yeah, I mean, he definitely does by himself, but just adding a guy like OJ to the mix is just going to make him that much better, make the offense even more better, or that much better. On a lot of two, that's what they like to run. And the problem they had last year was that Cameron Brate is not a blocker. Luke Stalker was the better blocker, but he's not a very good receiver. So really, at the end of the day, you didn't have to worry too much about any diversity when those two guys were on the field together, which is why the few catches you did see Luke Stalker get, usually he was wide open because they're not really accounting for him as a receiver.
Okay. All right. Well,
But now, with O.J. Howard, you got two guys on the line that are going to be able to line up on the scene, be threats in the red zone, the end zone, and be legitimate receiving targets. But in OJ's case, you've got a guy who's also a legitimate blocker, so he's also going to be able to stay in on occasion and help out the offensive line.
Will he be the starter? David, will OJ be the starter?
I mean, I think it'll be like 1-1 alpha. I don't think there's really going to be like a the guy, But eventually, yeah. I mean, eventually he's going to be the tight end in Tampa Bay.
Okay, and going to be teamed up with Safarian Jenkins.
I'm sorry.
Who's the other tight end? Is it Safarian Jenkins?
He's gone. He got released after his DUI. Last I heard, he's with the Jets. I'm not sure if they.
Okay.
I think the Jets cut him.
Did they cut him? Yeah, I'm not sure what they did with him.
So.
But really, behind Cameron Brate now and OJ Howard, really just have Luke Stalker, which, like I said, he's a really good blocker, but he's not much of a receiver.
Right.
And then Alan Cross, which they used him more as like a fullback than they did a tight end. But I suppose he's listed.
No,
as
the
a tight
Bears
end.
just took a tight end. The Bears just took a tight end, Adam Shaheen.
I don't know who that is either.
Yeah, Dan Jeremiah has been real high on him. I don't know much about him though.
Yeah, he was really high on him. He mentioned him again today in some of the pre-draft show.
Yeah.
Where are the Bucks looking in the second round?
I think either safety or running back.
Okay, that's what I was thinking. Running back.
Yeah.
Do you have anybody particular you like?
At this point in time, as a second-round pick at running back, everybody that I like that's left would be a reach, but I think Donta Foreman is definitely a name to keep in mind. Unfortunately for me, so is Alvin Kamara. And, Joe Mixon, depending on how he interviewed and what the team found on him in their own investigation, if they found little to nothing in their own investigation, then Joe Mixon's definitely on the table. If they found something, then he's probably off the table completely.
Do you think that y'all drafting a running back automatically means Doug Martin off?
No, not at all. In fact, I was actually before our podcast last week, I was telling James that I get the feeling more and more that he's staying. I don't really see the team. I mean, if he stays to where he actually gets on the field in 2017, then they're gonna restructure his contract. I would be willing to bet that, but I don't know that they're necessarily done with him.
Hey, Dave.
Yeah.
I just wanted to tell you did a magnificent job on the show the other night, and thank you very much once again for being a part, man.
Oh, I appreciate you having me on there. It was a lot of fun. I wish I could have stayed for the rest of it. You guys look like you had a blast.
Well, it was a lot of fun. I was really proud of the way it turned out. I think it's something that we can look forward to doing every year.
Yeah, that sounds good.
I'm sorry. I wanted to ask David, had he still been on the board when you guys came around, was Dalvin Cook a potential running back you guys would have been interested in?
I mean, I don't know for sure, and the guys I do know who have kind of that inside information never really got 100% confirmation either way.
Okay.
But I don't think so. I really don't. I think that there's something that the public doesn't know. There's something that teams aren't broadcasting outright about Dalvin Cook.
They were saying,
it ties in with all those rumors or not. You know what I mean? It's either more of the same or just the fact that those things.
They were saying before the show that there was some real red flags in the people he's hanging out with.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was going to. Yeah. Whether or not he's willing to leave his friends behind, that's sometimes that's a big deal for some of these guys. Yeah. So that could be part of it,
I saw a bunch of stuff today saying that the reason Reuben Foster fell so far and so hard last night was there's reports that he's going to require another shoulder surgery.
Oh yeah.
Anytime a guy goes from projected number 2 pick in the draft to actually being picked number 31, they know something.
Mm-hmm. Well, I will tell you, David, I saw a lot of tweets last night that were mentioning look out for Tampa Bay because they're building,
they got a solid thing going.
Yeah, I think they really have something going. What area of the do they need to address?
I'm sorry, Joe. What was that? You broke up a little bit.
I'm sorry. The Buccaneers are looking like they're assembling a really, really talented team. I was curious as to where do you see the team needs being on defense?
Safety is the biggest one. And they can still use some depth up front on the defensive line. They definitely need another strong side linebacker, but the amount that position gets on the field isn't really going to make it that big of a need. And then corner. I mean, I like the depth they have at corner actually, but I would expect them to probably add another guy at some point in the draft.
Well, I'll be honest with you guys. In terms of looking at this division in the upcoming season, I got Tampa Bay as the favorite.
So can we all agree that we hate Atlanta?
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Well, I'm talking about hate notwithstanding.
That's a given.
Screw the Falcons. But yeah, no.
I think we need to go cornerback, Mal, at some point because I'm a bit worried about our depth at cornerback. We're like literally one injury away from Teddy Williams or Zach Sanchez being on the field.
Who's the Iowa quarterback? What's his name?
Iowa quarterback?
Quincy Wilson's just gone.
No, he's Florida.
Have we still got McLean? Have we still kept McLean this year or not?
I don't think so. I don't know. That's a good question.
And I'll tell you who else I liked. I like the other cornerback we got. The small no, the guy who was injured till halfway through the season. He come in. He was like a third cornerback for us. He was called Leonard something.
Oh, Leonard Johnson, I think his name was.
Yeah, Leonard Johnson. We've let him go, and I thought he was really good.
Yeah, he was supposed to save our team halfway through the year.
He was a lot better than Zach Sanchez was in that one game.
Yeah. Easily, clearly.
Brandon, Baynard Brandon on Twitter says that Samuels reminds him of Brandon Cooks.
Yeah, that's good. Wow. That's what we need.
CJ Beathard.
So somebody y'all are going to trade in 3 years, huh?
Mel, CJ Beathard is who I was talking about.
Oh, I see. Yeah, good player.
Yeah. Oh, and a couple of people. I was just looking at a list. There's been more than one analyst who has said the best quarterback they think in this draft is Brad Kaya from Miami.
No way.
Wow.
Not either him.
I haven't even heard him talked about.
It was wait a minute, either him or wait a minute.
Interesting.
Gruden said the most pro-ready quarterback in the draft in this class was Nate Peterman.
That's my guy. Deshaun Watson was my favorite.
Pittsburgh,
in the first round. Nate Peterman is my favorite overall, and Brad Kaya, I wouldn't even look at him.
So
well, that's the same way that I feel about Chad Kelly.
Yeah, Chad Kelly's not even on the radar, but Brad Kaya, I wouldn't pick
Chad
up Brad.
Kelly is Johnny Manziel 2.0.
He's had some real bad issues in college.
Kaya doesn't have the experience. He still struggles with his decision-making process. Fundamentally, his mechanics are somewhat okay. He doesn't have the strongest arm in the world. Of all the quarterback class, he scored the highest on the Wonderlic test. So he's smart, but in terms of his ability, he could have really used another year experience in college.
That's exactly.
Bengals are taking Mixon.
The only other one I wonder about is Davis Webb. I don't think. Maybe
I think you would with Webb, you'd want a little more of a sample size for what he can do.
All right, so the Bengals are selected here.
Tyus Bowser went to Baltimore.
Joe Mixon.
Joe Mixon.
Yep, that's a Cleveland. Cincy pick.
Cincinnati does
Cody
not care about
Cody
character.
Lackney called that on YouTube.
They do not care about character.
Montez Burfict.
Yep. They want you to be a jerk.
Don't they have that Adam Jones as well? Isn't he a bit of a...
They want you to cost them playoff games.
Yes, he is.
That was fascinating, that match. When he got that interception, they all run down the tunnel. So funny.
I got a surprise for you guys.
Oh, yeah?
Say what?
I'm about to tweet it out.
I think it's fascinating. Every team has to have a quarterback. You're not going to make a serious run without a solid franchise quarterback on your team.
Trent Dilfer's an outlier.
Huh?
Serious, he is. He's like one of two that weren't. And everybody else had. Trent Dilfer.
Yeah.
The Baltimore Ravens.
Yeah.
That was the defense, not Dilfer, is what I'm saying. It was that good.
It always fascinates me just how much teams are willing to reach for quarterbacks so early.
Mm-hmm.
I agree. It's just
I
to me,
totally agree.
I don't understand.
I mean, case in point, last night, Chicago ruined their entire draft.
They literally
one spot.
Themselves. Yeah. What? I mean, come on.
That's ridiculous.
They fell for the QB talk, is what it was.
They say it's because they heard rumors other teams were calling San Francisco and they wanted to.
I'm glad they're basing their decisions on such solid information.
Yeah, right. What I like about that is that what if San Francisco just called them and was like, all these people are asking us, any chance?
Exactly.
Like, you want to just give us
I want to call them and ask them if their refrigerator's running, Just to see what they say.
I think the best tweet that I saw at all yesterday was there was something talking about how Gary and Conley sent messages to all 32 teams professing his innocence, and then right underneath it somebody responded, "I wonder if he told Cleveland, nah, man, I did it."
That's funny.
Yeah, at first glance, it was like Al Davis from the grave. The Raiders get him.
Freaking Bengals, man. And they got two running backs, too. They got two good running backs.
Yeah, I wanted Mixon. But
let's see which other criminals the Bengals can pick up by the end of the draft.
Right. They are the criminals. Pac-Man Jones.
Well, they're just the latest incarnation of what the Raiders used to be.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, not really. The Raiders didn't just go out and seek out people with criminal records to go on their team.
They just turned them into criminals.
They didn't turn them away, though.
They just exactly. They didn't really turn them away, but it was more than that. They're misfits or people that were thought to be washed up, and maybe Al saw something, got a couple more years out of them. There's a lot of little things. Because I watched them when I was in the 70s.
I did too.
Kenny Stabler had them together, and Dave Casper, but he was underrated.
Oh, yeah.
Bengal pick here.
Mark Van Egan.
Running back.
Lester Hayes.
Running back in.
Lester Hayes fast, and to stick him, oh my God.
Yes, indeed.
He goes up for a pass and misjudges it, hits his face mask, and he catches it. Because he doesn't, without even putting any pins on it,
He is the reason that they outlawed Stickum.
Yeah, I mean, seriously, he had it. You could see this green goop on the side of his helmet. He had it all over the place. I mean, that's why they finally banned it, just because it's like, all right, There's some funny stories about how some rules came about, like the head slap getting banned.
Oh, yeah.
So the Redskins pick is in. Let's see who they get.
Dude, if they have a good pick, they got a steal with Jonathan Allen. Yeah. So if they get a good pick here, you're talking about them. And you know what? They're doing this without a damn GM. They're doing this without a GM. They're telling the ESPN model is we don't even need employees anymore.
Look, I think we're really shortchanging Joe Mixon and that the fact that he went to Cincinnati. He's an outstanding running back guy.
Ryan Anderson.
I had Mixon number one on my running backs.
Ryan Anderson. That's a great pick.
Best running back in the draft, and they got him around two. I mean, we know he had some issues clearly. Supposedly,
yeah, he broke a chick's face.
Now, but Cincinnati is going to have a workhorse running back that's there.
Yeah, like if you look at his tape, dude, that guy. I mean, I hate when I say that word. By the way, like look at his tape. When you watch YouTube on that dude, he's just tall and fast. By the way, you guys are going to want to check out the little shout out I gave to Curtis Samuel. I got to step away for a second. It's time to put the kiddos to bed.
All right.
Well,
the thing about Mixon is he's the perfect combination of everything you want. He's fast as he can possibly be. He can run over your face. He can finesse you. He's an excellent receiver out of the backfield, but he can run between the tackles. There's not anything that he does badly except
treat women.
Control his temper around.
Yeah, inner society.
He's elite at landing right hooks, apparently, right?
That's what you want in your team, isn't it? Stand-up guy.
Well, he definitely has a issue about just strictly football. Oh, now, and they have, looks like Mike Lennon going to make the pick, but I know it's not.
Next night, long enough.
Was that Allstott?
It's Allstott, of course.
Boy, he was a player.
Mike,
yes, he was.
Allstott.
He was a beast.
I bet he could still strap it up.
Oh, that's a good pick. Okay, tell us what you think there.
How are you ahead of us? Who did they get?
Another safety.
Justin Evans.
Yeah, what do you think?
I mean, I like it. They needed to address the position, and he's been compared to Carl Joseph, and I love Carl Joseph. So if he's anything near what Carl Joseph is, then
it's Carl Joseph, the one that went to the Raiders
for a long time. Yep, he was a Raiders safety.
Yeah, I know him.
I was really high on him last year. If he wasn't injured, he probably would have gone in the first round. But and I mean, Evans has return ability too, so. You know, we'll see if he gets a shot back there as well.
This Obi must be low down then for everybody else.
You think you think that's pretty good? I guess that's pretty good. Being pick number 50.
Yeah. So Joe, so far you've got Curtis Samuel and Christian McCaffrey, correct?
Correct.
We have not bad little. No, not a bad. Two nights' work.
That's evolving the offense.
Yes, I think he's really doing the right thing. He knows he's got the height and the size in a receiving core. Now he's got to add speed and versatility, and that's what he's doing. I do believe we're going to see a run of a couple of defensive guys coming for the Panthers very soon in their next two picks. I think will both be on the defensive side of the ball, unless there's an offensive lineman making it.
I think if you're looking at the Falcons model for last year, there was probably 8 people every week getting receptions, wasn't there? And last year, for us, you could pin it down to KB, Ted Ginn, occasionally Funches if they put him in. But they're going this year, they're going to spread it across. You're not going to know what's going to come. Mm-hmm. I think it's the right thing. Obviously, Olsen as well, but do you know what I mean? I think they're trying to evolve, aren't they? And that's what they had to do. Yeah. Because we were going to get left behind.
Definitely becoming very dependent on Cam to do so much, and
that's what I was about to say. Anything that you guys are doing to address the need of taking some pressure off of Cam Newton is going to be a definite positive for you guys.
I was reading on Twitter that Cam Newton spoke to Christian McCaffrey last night, and he was telling Christian how he thinks we'll be able to use him, and how he will fit into the offense, and how excited he is to get to work with him. I can only imagine he's feeling the same way now that he's seen pick up Samuel in the second round. He's got to be like a kid at Christmas
Yeah, he's got to be excited.
He's got these two guys. I know he's.
I saw his exit interview after he was picked last night. He was very excited.
Yeah, and I think it's genuine.
I do too.
Yeah, it is.
He's going to
Christian McCaffrey is a great guy. You guys are gonna love having him on your team. He's from the same town I am.
Oh, no kidding.
That entire family is amazing. You guys got a good one there.
Yeah, here he's got.
He's like community guy too, isn't he?
Oh yeah. His dad. I mean, yeah. Trust me, you guys won. That's amazing. You guys are going to do really great with him.
Well,
Did you hear that? Did you hear that, Ken? Did you hear that, Ken?
I'm fine with it. I mean, what can I do about it?
Ken was very. I don't want to say he was against McCaffrey. He wanted Fournette over McCaffrey no matter what.
I think Fournette's a bust.
Uh-oh.
I think so too. In Canton.
Did you hear that?
In Canton, nice. I like that.
Fournette, you said?
Listen, no, to defend myself from all of the, salty whatever, but when you look at the numbers on him and the forces he exerts, something's got to give, and it's always going to be the other guy until his body breaks. That's the thing that's going to stop him more than anything is himself.
No, I agree, and that's it's really not fair to classify someone a bust when they've been injured, in my personal opinion. But unfortunately, guys who's a bust, and I think that's what's going to happen. Is what I'm saying. It's not necessarily his talent; it's the fact that his running style in the NFL is going to get him hurt. That's why I think he's going to be a bust. Just to clarify,
I'm thinking he's got maybe 6 good years, but those 6 years, oh my gosh.
I can tell you guys, I've been watching the guy play since probably middle school. I've never known him to complete an entire season post to post. And at LSU, he didn't. He spent almost as much time hurt as he didn't.
Well, that's makes me feel a little.
That to me is why was probably the biggest reason that I had Mixon over him.
Right. What did they say? In the NFL, the best ability is availability.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Good point.
Well, that's just like us right now with linebacker Donnell Ellerbe. He's the best linebacker we got, but if he's not on the field, how much damn good is that going to do you?
Yeah, I agree. You gotta have the guys. They're great to have on the team, but if they're not on the field, all they're doing is taking up salary cap.
Hey, look at it this way: he's helping develop depth.
Yeah,
so
maybe.
Broncos just took DeMarcus Walker. Man, they needed another defensive end, huh?
Yeah, that's a good pick for them, I think.
Can't have enough pass rushers.
That's right.
We need some young ones.
Yeah, we
do. We
do.
need Jordan Willis would be a good pick for us at 64.
That's why I think these next 2 picks for the Panthers could very well be defense.
It's going to be a safety or defensive end or cornerback.
Safety or defensive end. Hopefully, honestly, I wouldn't mind defensive end if they can get somebody that we expect to play this year. I mean, not start or necessarily play a bunch, but get on the field and just give our guys a breather. Someone we can rotate in for a few plays so that the guys can come out and catch their breath before going back in.
Do you know the Panthers have released McLean? They didn't sign him again, so that we literally have got no backup cornerbacks really, not first teamers.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. They got
starters.
They got Bradbury, Worley, Teddy Williams. I don't know. Zach Sanchez.
And then Captain.
Oh yeah, Captain Mullen. But they got. I don't see why you wouldn't get McLean for what, $2 million a year or $1 million.
I like McLean. I really did.
Yeah. I imagine it might be able to.
I like Ben Wickery. I like Ben Wickery a lot.
I tell you, I like the guy that what was the guy called with the blonde? He used to have bright blonde hair and he got in the scrap that time. And we signed him halfway through the season to be in the slot. What's his name? I really liked him. He used to be a Titans player.
Wow, check that out, man. Jim Brown might be the best running back of all time, coming out with a cane.
Let me find his name.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about. Let me think about it. I think he wore number 26 or 23.
We got him the same time we got McLean.
Yeah. He came in with Peanut Tillman that year.
Yeah, he came in when Benet got injured. Let me have a quick look at his name. He's like he's famous for having that fight with somebody.
Yeah. Oh, the Browns selected Sean Kaiser.
Oh.
What was his name?
That's interesting.
You talking about Ken Lucas?
No.
Not Lucas, no. He plays for the Titans. And he was always fighting everybody. He got in a fight with Steve Smith one year. He got in a fight with another. They took their helmets off and just started going at it like on the first play of the game.
Cortland Finnegan, that's the guy.
Finnegan.
Finnegan, yeah, I liked him.
I felt like he came in and did really well, and then we just got rid of him. I couldn't work out why.
Yeah, he only played that 1 year for us, but he
he
was long in the tooth though.
Yeah.
He was because he got an interception in, I want to say, the Seahawks game.
Man, this Deshaun Kaiser, man, he did not impress me.
But what I just don't understand why we're not keeping around people like McLean, just as
Yeah, but McLean and Ben Wickery, both of those guys were solid corners.
Just keep them. Keep them as backups, but keep them there.
Julio Jones has embarrassed a lot of people in this league. I feel like
Ben Wickery was coming back from a broken leg, wasn't he?
Right,
he was obviously not fit.
Right.
He was quite clearly not fit.
But he should have been. I think the point was he should have been, and he had time to be.
But who's that on? If he's not fit, regardless of whether it's his fault or if he shouldn't be on the pitch, if they know he's not fit, then he shouldn't be on the pitch.
Right.
They let him get embarrassed that day,
he did get
and
embarrassed,
it should never have happened because they will have known before that game because they watch him train every day
right.
that he wasn't fit enough to be on the field. So that's bad management. And then to react to it the next day and release him, if it's never happened before, then you have to put it down to a one-off, and you have to put it down to the fact that he's coming back from an injury.
I think if we would have lost that game by like 7, even after giving up all the yardage, it was a close game. I think it wouldn't have been. They wouldn't have cut him. But the fact that embarrassing loss. I mean, after going to the Super Bowl, we get embarrassed by the Falcons. We really were. I think they felt they had to do something.
But don't you think you have to take into consideration how he played the year before? Do you remember when he got injured and he was carrying a baseball bat around and everyone was devastated? They thought we'd lost like one of the key players of the team. And then 12 months later, you're treating him as if like he's not capable of playing. I just felt like it was weird. And then Zach Sanchez was the one who was completely out of his depth, and yet they put him back on a practice squad. So it didn't make sense to me. I think it must have been off-field issues, attitude problems, I think. Because otherwise, he'd have been snapped straight up by somebody else, and he hasn't, has he, until I think he's just been re-signed by Bengals, is it?
Who's that?
But there has to be a reason why.
Who?
Ben Wickery, he's just been signed by someone this year. I think it's the Bengals.
Oh, he was signed by Miami. I know Miami picked him.
That was last year.
They let him go though.
He didn't play a game. I'm sure it's the Bengals. I'm having a look now. Yeah, it is. He's signed for the Bengals
now.
So he's on the Bengals now. But I just still think I just feel like that was a reaction that didn't need to happen. I think he was just doing it just to take the attention off himself.
Yeah.
Who's that? Take the attention off of who?
We're talking about
Gettleman. Just talking about how they overreacted.
Sticky Wiki.
Go with.
I agree.
And why they're not keeping hold of people like McLean for such a cheap salary, just as backups. I was saying Cortland Finnegan did a good job. They got rid of him. Could have been a good backup. Leonard Johnson again could be a good backup. Got rid of him, and now McLean again. They're not amazing, but they're better than people like Teddy Williams and Zach Sanchez when we get an injury, aren't they?
Yeah, I have to agree with that. I wish we could have information to inside the GM's room, but we don't. So we don't see him at practice. We don't see him in the team meetings. So we don't know what goes on there. I think part of it, like with Finnegan, it was age. Yeah. I think that was the deal with him. Okay, I can see that. But Wickery, yes, he had played well. The season before, he came in and had some really big interceptions. And, he was embarrassed. That Falcons game really embarrassed a lot of people. But, I mean, that's going to happen. That's what happens sometimes. So you hate to see him go because he really did have a real big upside.
But I think he was real close with Josh Norman, wasn't he? And they seemed to work well together. And maybe he suffered with losing that leadership because he was definitely the leader of the secondary, wasn't he? Definitely the cornerbacks. And maybe that affected him as well.
Could be. Yeah.
I think the people in the YouTube chat room want you calling out more picks, Joe.
All right.
All right, so it looks like this. The Browns received picks.
DeShone Kaiser.
DeShone Kaiser, quarterback. That's the Notre Dame guy. This guy, I don't know what I think about him talking about all that mess with the Cam Newton and the brain of Tom Brady and all that.
I don't think he's very good. I watched every game of his. He's not very good.
Well, if you guys got early in the process, there's a lot of concerns about his confidence level because he expressed how uncomfortable he was while he was at Notre Dame. So I think he's just trying to overcompensate.
Yes. Big guy, big arm. But I don't think he has it upstairs.
Even his coach came out and said he needed another year in college.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, think about that, guys. I mean, for your coach to come out and say he shouldn't come out, that's saying a lot.
Yep. That speaks volumes.
It does. I mean, because that guy's trying to recruit other players. He really has to believe that to say that. All right, so the Lions are picking. Pick 3 here. I do like the second round when they've got these veterans come in, these old school players. Yeah. All right, so this is Lim Martin,
Florida.
defensive back from 67 to 77.
Picking another defensive back, Tease Tabor.
All right, here you go, guys. Listen to this. He's a cornerback, and he runs a 4.640.
Yeah.
That's slow.
But he plays fast.
Who's that?
Tease Tabor. He was before his 40 time. He was projected top 10.
Josh Norman runs a 4.6, guys.
Yeah, so you put him in the right scheme in a zone type of defense, cover 2. You got yourself.
Josh Norman is always running after dudes too, though. To be fair, like every great play he's ever made has been him trying to catch up with somebody that's just smoked him.
True. He's just always got that good leap, hasn't he? He's got good timing.
He does. That's
That's
exactly
a very good
right.
value pick right there, though.
Think about that. You know the one where he did it at the end against the Saints, and he got that interception.
Yeah.
He'd been burnt then, hadn't he? It was only because he timed his jump right.
Yeah,
Thank you for reminding me of that, by the way.
It was a remarkable play. That's what it was.
It really was. It really was. That was an incredible play by Norman.
Bigger question. Wider question, I guess. What do all Hall of Fame inductees seem to have in common? And there is really no right or wrong. I have something in mind.
They played football.
They're American.
What personality trait do they share? Or
arrogance.
What
humility?
Well, personally, y'all, your jokes made me narrow in on something where it may not be. Just what about them, other than the obvious, do they all have in common?
What is it?
They're men that play football, and they're pretty good at it.
What is it?
They're smart.
Okay, I could agree with that.
Yeah, because you think one of
and along those lines, you think about
who's probably who's the smartest Panthers player? You'd probably say Kuechly, wouldn't you? And he's also our best.
Oh yeah. Now that was the thing about Christian McCaffrey. They say that the deciding factor, because it came down to between McCaffrey and O.J. Howard, and when they were on the clock, the scouts were spouting out traits and their cases for each player, and the scouts came out and said that they felt like Christian McCaffrey had the same DNA as Luke Kuechly, and that was the deciding factor for Gettleman.
Well, there you go.
Wow, that was cool. Oh, that was cool.
Raekwon McMillan just went to the Dolphins.
Yep. Linebacker.
I don't know. Maybe after a couple months, when the hate for actually liking some other player comes to a simmer, then I'll start worrying about it. But I'm gonna root for him. I mean,
there are still some really talented tight end, defensive ends on the board.
Ken, I hope you win the C3 Fantasy Football League, so I can get a picture of you in that Christian McCaffrey jersey.
I tell you who
I'd be happy to do it.
I tell you who comes across quite clever is TJ Watt. JJ Watt. That's it. I'm getting mixed up with TJ Dillashaw just watching the UFC. Yeah, JJ Watt.
Where did he go?
He comes across really intelligent as well, doesn't he? He's one of the best in the NFL.
Where did TJ Watt go?
Sure.
He hasn't yet.
Oh,
seriously?
Yeah, I think he went somewhere.
Not yet.
At the end of the first round.
He went to the Steelers.
That's
right.
Yeah, that's right.
So there's no way he's still available.
I wish.
There's Harry Carson. He's from here. He's from.
All right, so I met him on the beach of Waikiki when I was out there for the Pro Bowl. The
nice man?
Nice dude. Now, Lawrence Taylor was there too, and he was a jerk. But this guy, class act.
Yeah, he is.
Dalvin Tomlinson to the Giants.
The Alabama team, man. Woo.
Yeah, they're putting out some players.
Getting close to our pick now.
6'3", 310 pounds. Whew.
And people wonder why Fournette didn't run against the squad. Yeah. They just had guys go, 4 defenders go already.
Yeah.
And that should hint you.
Defensive tackle. Oh, so that's replacing the guy they just lost to the Colts. That's what they're trying to do right there.
Yeah.
Should we all make our picks then? Who we think's going to come over?
Man, I'll tell you, if Obi's there, that would be a steal at 64.
Yeah, I can't believe he's just dropping and dropping and dropping. What if we just pick another offensive player, dude?
No, we can't. I think we got to start addressing the defense.
I agree. We got to get a safety. I think
I would not mind an offensive lineman. We need an offensive lineman.
I agree with that.
Like Elfine or Polstein out of LSU. One of these guys that could replace Khalil if he gets hurt.
What are we thinking about Michael Orr? Are we expecting him to come back this year, or do we think he's done?
I heard today they think he's coming back. They feel pretty confident about it.
See, the only thing that is, that's good for depth. The problem is that I don't think he's just that great at right tackle.
To start with.
Yeah. Right.
So I think, though, but what you got to believe is this, that it's not, and I think us not trading up for Cam Robinson, not addressing this right away. Oh, Ten Tizzy just said in the YouTube chat is the center. Is that the Elfine guy?
Yeah, he's a center, but he's also versatile.
Elfine at Ohio State.
Yeah, he's also versatile. He can play either guard position. He can kick out the tackle if you need him.
I think what we're trying to say by us not going after Cam Robinson aggressively or something, or an offensive player like at that point, is that that we have a little faith that or Williams together can maybe sufficiently fill that right tackle role, or even just the problem with Orr is he's just expensive at this point. He cost $7 million this year to be a rotational or backup player.
Yeah.
Guys, let me ask you a question. What do you think? I've got an idea. Stewie just became our short yardage and goal line specialist. McCaffrey in first and second down. Samuel in at third down. Maybe not opening day, but, by midseason.
I think this is that, I think the whole thing with short yardage for, a running back, I think Cam is our best option in short yardage. But I do agree that, look, Jonathan Stewart can get inches. He can get yards. What I think is this is that I don't know how interested we are in making Samuel a running back. Maybe more of a gadget player in that capacity.
Type, but still put him in the backfield. But,
Did you guys listen to Gettleman's interview? I found it very interesting who he compared him to. He said the best in between tackles runner he ever knew was Curtis Martin, and he said Christian McCaffrey is right there with him. That is unbelievable praise, and I'll take Gettleman for his word there.
I don't see him as a short yardage. You got to move the pile. 200 pounds, 10 reps in that.
Yep.
So how many reps did Fournette do?
I bet he did a bunch. He's diesel, man. He's strong.
He's a strong dude.
I'm just intrigued to see what the difference is between the two.
All right, I wonder who the Raiders are going to get here.
They reckon McCaffrey was the second best blocker in the draft, though, which is fascinating considering how small he is.
Yeah, that is fascinating.
It's got to be good technique.
Panthers put a premium on that.
Well, McCaffrey's by far the most polished running back coming out.
I've never seen anyone change direction like him. It fascinates me to see.
Fournette's actually better at that, but
no way.
Go check Sports Science. He is. I actually was looking at Sports Science with about McCaffrey.
Yeah.
He can change direction in 0.2 of a second, same as Fournette. 45 degrees. Fournette can change 60 degrees and maintain 85% of his linear speed.
But see, there's a difference between can and does.
Well, that's what they measure from the tape.
How about this? There's a difference, though, at this point, as this is a moot point, right? All this is a moot point right now because Leonard Fournette is a Jacksonville Jaguar, and that's it.
Yeah, it's true.
Yes.
That's like we said yesterday, Tony. We didn't really overly want McCaffrey, but now he's here. Full support.
That's exactly right.
That's our boy now.
Do y'all know anybody that really
still have a concern about short yardage? We've got to get that yard.
Do you
got
guys know
Cam
anybody
Newton
that really wanted Christian McCaffrey?
Is somebody? If Cam's going to be our short yardage guy, is that helping him?
The Saints wanted McCaffrey.
Yeah.
That's because he likes Sproles,
and so did Mel Mayotte.
We'll be fine. We'll be fine with. Look, I don't think that short yardage is going to be a problem with if you got.
No, I'm just saying that's why I think they're going to switch around the back.
You got Cam Newton. Now,
you got Cam Newton.
Here's a question for you: does having Christian McCaffrey?
Raiders pick is in.
Obi to the Raiders.
That blows.
That's a good fit, though.
That sucks.
That's a good pick for them, man.
Fudge sickles, man. Fudge.
It's a shame.
Yep,
Well,
we're
he's
getting close too. We were getting close.
Yeah.
What is that? Pick 56.
Willie Grant.
Oh, that blows, dude.
God, we were so close.
Oh,
Josh Jones.
Josh Jones, yes, or Jordan Williams.
They look happy. The fans look happy to get him.
Daddy, put the head in. See, he comes in.
That's a sweet voice right there.
That was a sweet voice.
That's a good pick for them, man. It really is.
Yeah, it is. Very good pick.
I would have definitely liked a safety that big,
I didn't realize how big he is, man. He's a
and he ran a 4.40, Joe.
Jesus, Romney, he's huge.
Who, the Obi?
David Gettman would have been
Yeah.
Yeah, he's 6'4", 224. This dude, Joey, he has a 44-inch vertical leap.
Oh my God! I've just seen his long jump. Bloody hell!
He jumped like a 75-inch vertical or something stupid.
Yeah. He hit 44 inches off the ground. Like, that's like the highest vertical leap in the whole damn combine.
Look at those people out there for the combine, man, or for the draft. That is awesome. I want Charlotte
They
to
had
get the draft one.
100,000 show up yesterday and 100,000 show up today.
That's awesome.
100,000?
Yep.
That's just dumb.
That's pretty impressive. That's a really good turnout.
So we're getting close, fellas. I tell you, most of our guys are gone.
Yeah, I know, man. I'm really starting to worry here.
No, there's somebody. We must have something. We're looking at. Well, that's a good question.
Defensive end for sure.
Well, you know who that guy is? That kid, Derek Rivers out of Youngstown.
Derek Rivers, Jordan Willis has got to be two guys way up on the list there. Pat Elflein's got to be up there. Polson out of LSU.
Yeah, he was. I saw him up there. They just showed a list a minute ago.
Joe, listen to this. The Derek Rivers, who's a defensive end, he's 6'4", he's 248 at the combine. 30 reps on the bench press, 35-inch vertical jump, a 4.6 140, and his cone. He had the fastest 3-cone drill time.
But the problem is that's more linebacker size.
248 is a
defensive end.
Yeah, but I feel like, you know what? Derek Barnett is 258.
Yeah, that's still 10 pounds.
I know. You're right. You know who he sounds a little bit like? He sounds a lot like that. He sounds a lot like that kid that we had that was undrafted that everybody loves to hate on, who had that one game against Seattle.
Cash.
No. He's defensive end. His name is what is his name?
Oh, I know who you're talking about.
I'll find it out.
Oh, by the way, earlier I heard the question about how much did Fournette lift. A lot of the larger running backs don't lift weights.
Yeah.
Because they're so bulky they can't run.
Because they're what, sorry?
They get too bulky and they can't run. Bo Jackson didn't lift weights.
I see what you mean, yeah.
Neither did Herschel Walker.
Herschel Walker didn't either, exactly.
No, but he did like 6,000 push-ups a day.
Well, Bo was a three-letter star, baseball, football, and track. First in the SEC in like 30 years.
Man, I had a feeling we were getting melted.
Ryan Delaire. That's what those numbers.
God, he came through and he got those 2 sacks in his first game against the Bucks,
Buccaneers.
didn't he?
Listen to this. Ryan Delaire is 6'4", 265. So this kid's a whole 15 pounds lighter than Ryan Delaire. I don't know why everybody is so crazy high on him.
That's the problem.
Now, is Delaire still on our team?
Yeah, well, he's on the roster according to Panthers.com.
On the team and on the roster, there's a distinction.
Tim Tizzy beat me to the punch. He's over here. I got you guys. Somebody, Mel, you're gonna have to start watching the YouTube chat with me, bro.
Yeah. What's going on?
People are talking. They called that Delaire one.
Delaire was all speed. He was all speed. So they had to teach him a couple of more moves. He needed to learn another move or
And
two.
he just got manhandled. You know, he just wasn't strong enough. Or he's not strong enough, it doesn't seem
Right.
like.
That's why he would try to beat people with the speed. So he needed to learn another move and hit the weights. Really. That was the biggest thing.
They obviously see potential in him if they're keeping him around.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could see it. You could see it.
He's got
I'm a
Julius
bachelor
Peppers
of
to
eating
learn off
hot
this
food.
year.
How about that?
You know, I heard Jeremy Cash on the Carolina Huddle podcast, and he put on 10 pounds, 10 or 15 pounds this offseason.
I like Jeremy Cash.
Good, because I was thinking he was going to be light for a linebacker at 217.
Yeah, but you know what is this? Do you guys remember when I talked to Will Witherspoon? Will Witherspoon was 205 when he came into the league.
Is that right?
Yeah.
205 out of Georgia?
That's Christian McCaffrey size.
And what he did is that he he did have a frame to put it on, and he drank a ton of water before he went on the scale too.
Who are we expecting to take Klein's space? Are we thinking it's going to be David Mayo or Cash?
I think so. I like David Mayo. I think he's played well, and I think you got Cash, who they've been training up to rotate in. And on top of that, we have too many linebackers. I mean, with Shaq, we're still trying to figure out how to use Shaq Thompson.
Yeah, that's the thing that disappoints me about him.
I still think we should have took Landon Collins over Shaq Thompson.
Yeah,
Collins is a brilliant player.
Yeah.
Every time I watch the Giants, he's getting an interception.
I always worried me, a 6 foot tall linebacker, and people say, well, what's so important about height in a linebacker? Well, it's not so much the height, it's the range of the arms that go along with it.
Yeah.
6'4".
I just still don't understand why they take Cash and put him at linebacker when we just short of safety all the time.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, so here's Seattle's pick.
We needed a strong safety, but no, let's make him a linebacker that we don't need.
It's because I don't know. It's because they didn't think that he had.
There goes Posick, the center.
I'm just saying, Mel, the Seahawks took your boy.
Yeah.
Who was it?
Posick.
Who?
Center from LSU. I want Elflein, but he's a good center, man. He's like 6'7" though. He's like 6'7".
What's going on with that Garrett? The wide receiver.
Yeah.
We got last year in the free agency.
What's that?
What happened to the is it something Garrett? We got him as in free agency. He was the wide receiver.
Kiaris Garrett.
Oh yeah. You know what? That's somebody who we're probably who really has a real opportunity to edge out like a Devin Funchess.
What? I like Funchess,
Funchess
I want to talk a couple of things from yesterday that I didn't get to ask you about. Which was the worst trade, the Kansas City trade or the Bears trade?
Bears.
In your opinion.
Kansas City.
The Bears literally got in front of themselves.
Did you hear me?
That Bears trade may have been the worst move in draft history, dude.
But they lost a third and a fourth rounder. The freaking Chiefs, man, they lost next year's first rounder for a quarterback.
I was kind of fond of the Kansas City trade, actually.
Man, I don't.
Because it kept us from drafting a quarterback in the first round.
Oh, yeah, there you go. You know, it's all about you.
Yeah, absolutely.
No, I hear you.
I would have been fine with y'all drafting a quarterback in the first round. We would have stayed him for a few years, probably.
Well, see, that's the thing. I'm afraid that if this season doesn't go well, we may be looking for a head coach.
Shaked said that Saints are trying to trade up.
I was hearing the Sean Payton on the on the chopping block last year.
Yeah.
Happened so.
All right, now anytime you watch highlights like this guy here that the Chiefs just took, and you look in the stands and you see empty bleachers, you know he went to a small school.
It's never a good sign, is it?
No.
Tana Passan. How do you say this guy's name? Tana Passanwa? Passanon?
His last name is a silent. Whatever it is.
I would just call him
Tano Passignon.
He's 6'7", 289 pounds.
Oh my gosh, he needs to be in the WWE.
Yeah, exactly.
There's literally nobody there, Mel. You were right. I'm just saying it now.
Right.
even his family haven't turned up.
Exactly. Even his dad went to go get a hot dog.
That's all I want to do then.
All right, so the Cowboys pick is in. They're going rapid fire now. So number 60. So
we're 4 picks away. 4 picks away, guys. All right, so right now what we're saying is that as of need, you're talking strong safe. If you were going to order the need, offensive line, strong safety, or I guess what would be the third?
Pass rusher, like
pass
Jordan
rusher,
Willis.
yes.
Jordan Willis could be the pick here at 64.
Is he pass rusher?
Quarterback.
Yeah.
What do you think about Carl Lawson?
Yeah, that'd be a good pick.
Yeah.
Carl Lawson, you better beware.
I'm thinking it's Willis. I'm thinking Willis is the.
In a good way, beware, or a bad way, beware.
Everybody has somewhat of injury issues. Lawson is above the line on that.
He's as good as anybody, but that's like,
Yeah. When he's on the field, he's one of the best that there is, but it's just a matter of when he's on the field. Goes back to what Joey said a while ago. The best ability is availability.
Yep.
Who's that you're talking about?
Carl Lawson.
Carl Lawson.
Auburn.
All right. This is what Cody Lackney says: is that the Panthers like that guy that Kansas just selected. Was that the Tano dude or whatever?
Passignon.
Opossum.
Yeah. All right. So here, if we think it's a defensive end, you've got
Jordan Willis.
Here's some names. Are these names still on the board? Is DeMarcus Walker still on the board?
No.
He's gone.
Okay. What about Chris Wormley?
I think he is.
I haven't seen his name.
That would be an intriguing pick.
That might be it. That might be it.
That'd be a reach, but
I think it's Jordan Willis.
What are you guys gonna do if they draft Juju Smith-Schuster?
You talk about some doubling down on offense.
Oh my gosh. That would be tripling down, wouldn't it?
Hey, that's kind of DG style, man. That's what he did last year on the cornerbacks.
Yeah, how'd that third guy do?
David, did you give me an answer? I don't know if I heard you.
About what?
About the worst trade from yesterday, the Bears or Kansas City?
Oh, the Bears, by far.
Yeah, I think so too. But they were able to get some of those picks back today. So maybe it ended up not being quite so bad.
So think about this, guys. Think about last year's draft. The rookie of the year, that means the best player in the draft last year, came in the 5th round.
Is it Dak Prescott?
Dak Prescott.
Actually, only because he's a quarterback, his team, he wasn't the best rookie on his team.
I agree.
So does that mean he's not getting paid anything then? 5th round, he's getting.
Not making any money.
He's making like 700 grand, something like that.
There's got to be some sort of rule in place that if you're a starting quarterback and you win X amount of games, that you should get paid.
No, they just went away from that.
Yeah.
They have
bargaining.
They have something in they call it, but based on your performance, you get a bonus.
Yeah,
Sam Bradford and that dude from Oakland ruined it for rookies for the rest of eternity.
Marcus Russell.
Yeah, they just fleeced.
$47 million for never having played a snap.
Or like Jim Rome called him the Walrus Ruffles.
You know what? I always liked Jim Rome. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, they said they drafted a offensive lineman.
That actually explains a lot, Tony.
Oh. I think he was kind of the smart hot take guy. Like, so he had the kind of edgy take, but he didn't it wasn't just baseless. You know, I feel like when you listen to Skip Bayless or to that other dude, who's the guy, Colin, is they just make they just talk and talk and talk about, and they change with where the wind blows. And if I hear Colin Cowherd talk junk about Cam Newton anymore, I'm going to go up to him and punch him in his face.
Colin Cowherd's a whiner, man. I can't stand listening to him.
He goes this. He was talking about what was it? The guy that if basically these quarterbacks that were trying to go number one, and he was saying you don't want to go early if you're a quarterback. He said you should go 26 to a good team and take 18 million instead of 30 million. And then he goes on to say that in the last 10 years there hasn't been a number one pick or a top 5 quarterback pick that's done anything. And then I was just like, and he goes and he runs down all the people and skips 2011. You know, he just totally, and he said, and then at the end, after talking like 8 minutes, he's like, and the jury's still out on Cam. Like, no, he's MVP. He's been an MVP. He's an offensive. I mean, shut up, Colin.
Shut up.
He's
So
an
the
Cowboys pick Awuzie.
Awuzie.
I like that name.
I think
All right,
great
let me
league
ask
in
you
the
this: is Jay still up here? Because I want to say this is that if all these talking about not getting these players, I forgot to tell you, Obi Melifonwu is from London. Chidobe Awuzie, he can't be from Grimesland, North Carolina. That's for sure.
That's for sure.
Yeah, no, he was born here, but he moved really young.
Really?
That's always they say they're English, but they're literally just born here and then they were left at like 2 years old. Actually, you know what? I think he's the one that he actually left he was actually quite old. I think he might have been about 12, 13, because I think he said he's a big Arsenal fan. He's a big football fan over here.
The other football.
There's a couple. The running back at Miami's from London as well. Who's the running back at Miami who had a good season last year?
Oh,
talking about JJ.
Yeah, he's English.
JHI, man, that's a player right there.
Yeah, he was from London as well.
Yeah, he's a soccer player, big time. All right, so Green Bay's pick is in, and we're getting close. That's number 61.
2 more and a wake up.
I think you'll start seeing more and more people in about 10 years' time. I'm thinking about doing my American football coaching badges and start coaching around here.
Nice.
Just because it's going to be the next thing that takes off, because they're going to introduce a franchise here. It'll be the Jags who are going to end up moving here, and they'll be the London Bulldogs, I think.
Another safety. Goodness gracious.
No, man, my freaking NC State guy. Jeez.
What's weird is all of these safeties going before Obi-Wan.
Dang, no, Obi's gone, man.
Obi's gone.
Oh, that's right. Obi went about 5 picks ago. Right.
Oh, man, freaking Josh, man. He would have been.
There was a lot of safeties before him that I didn't think would.
Bud Sickles, man.
Man, Josh Jones gone, huh? Packers.
Yeah.
220-4 guy. That's a big dude running that fast.
Yeah, he was. The only reason you didn't hear more about him is because Melifonwu beat him out by 1/10 of a second.
Wow.
Or 100. Yeah, 100.
All right, so who's going to make the pick for the Panthers? As far as the veteran up there.
Greg Olsen, isn't it?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Greg Olsen. Now, they've been doing all like retired people.
No, it is Greg Olsen. I've already read it. It is.
Kerry Collins.
Because I read that and they said, I wonder if they're doing it to take the mick because he got.
I think last year was Wesley Walls, wasn't it?
All right, I got a question for Jay. Have you ever heard of a word called Sassenach? Sassenach.
No. Sassenach, no.
Okay. I've been reading this book about Britain's formation of a nation, and it says Sassenach in the original Gaelic, Sassenach, means a Saxon and is a word now used for one of the kinder Scottish epithets. So it's for English-born people. So I'm guessing that it's not a nice thing.
No.
I've probably been called it a few times then recently.
by your baby's mama.
Yeah.
my ancestors are from Inverness.
I was gonna say to you, it's a bit bad. I was gonna say, but the McCaffrey pick's a bit like when I found out about Jacob. I didn't really didn't know he was coming, but when he arrived, I just thought, you know what, it's time to accept it on my own.
You got Franco Harris up there picking for the Steelers right now.
He was up there last night.
Juju's gone. We can't pick him.
Juju's gone. Damn it.
I told you that story, didn't I? Where I found out about the Scottish girl having my baby at 3 o'clock in the morning in a nightclub.
Yes, that was shortly after you lost your keys.
Yeah, it was not the best night I've ever had in my life. But I said it's like the McCaffrey.
That's one of those times you just kind of step back and say, "Okay, God, tell me how many other people on the entire earth are doing the exact same thing."
That's what I mean. It's like the McCaffrey pick. Like I wouldn't have chose it, but you just have to make the most of it.
Yeah,
that was a steal of a pick right there for the Steelers.
Shaked said a Panthers fan from Twitter might get to announce the sixth round pick tomorrow.
Awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah, they usually do something like that late.
That's some good.
It would have been an Atlanta Falcons fan from Twitter, but they can't read, so that eliminates that.
Hey, this just in: the Falcons blew a 28-3 lead in the Super Bowl.
I've heard that.
Somebody's crying on my screen.
Yeah,
25 points. 17
mother.
25 points, 21 minutes. Oh.
That's one of the coolest things about the draft is watching the mothers. You know, because a lot of these guys, these are single moms raising these kids, busting their butts to keep food in their mouths. I mean, this is some great stuff. It really is.
Hey, if you haven't heard a really sad story, but could be, I guess it's a sad story about one of the guys in the draft, Donta Foreman.
Yeah, that's an incredible story.
But that is a heartbreaker.
Yeah, no doubt.
Bills trade up. That's what people are.
Yeah.
McDermott, you bastard! He must have known who we wanted.
Man, you ain't kidding. He just jumped right up in front of us.
And who was his trade partner? You know,
the Falcons. Oh, yeah.
Oh,
what a turncoat!
It was a double whammy.
I'm cool with it.
What's that?
Get the pick out of not only out of the division, get the pick out of the conference. I'm cool with it.
Yeah, but it's our pick.
Well, before
we don't know that yet.
It's to say the Falcons wouldn't have done the same thing.
Dang.
Where's the value? Who's the best player on the board at the moment? Does anybody know?
That's a good question.
Who would Buffalo look at?
Who's the best player on the board right now?
Seems everybody's taken cornerback or safety so far.
On your board, anyway.
I mean, right now, Elflein is the guy that I would want, but
what position's he?
He's a center out of Ohio State.
So how long do you think Khalil's got left then?
You know, I mean, he got hurt last year. I think he's got a couple years left. But Elflein, the good thing about Elflein is he can play any position along the line. He could fill in at guard. He could fill in at tackle. So he would be our 6th offensive lineman.
And what did you think?
I'm having a swingman in basketball.
What did you think of Chris Scott? Was it Chris Scott that was the backup center? Was that his name?
Yeah, he's a good road grading guard, but he's just a guard, right? I mean, he's just having some.
No, we had Gino Gradkowski.
Right.
We had him too. I think
he was pretty good.
And he was like a grocery boy before.
A lot of people think the guard can play center, but no, you got to know how to snap.
I tell you what I like Norwell.
Yeah.
But
you got to protect yourself against being able to sign those guys in their contract year. You might not be able to.
You know who the highest rated player is left?
Who's that?
Kamara.
Oh, gosh. 3 running backs in a row.
Well, we're not there.
All right. This is what Joe Person just tweeted. If Sean McDermott takes a wide receiver or running back here, Dave Gettleman is going to be pissed.
Well, I'm thinking it's going to be a wide receiver because Juju Chichester, whatever his name is, just went. So maybe there's some urgency for one of those.
Who were the top?
It's Amara. The guy that's on our board. There's two of them. It's the dude, the Carlos Henderson. Has anybody picked him yet?
No.
And the other that I think the Panthers are interested in is a Michigan guy, Amara Darbo, who has gotten a bad reputation for being a body catcher. But that dude makes plays. You should have seen him play against Ohio State. Like, that man was just busting up the best secondary in college football.
Is he a big guy or quick guy?
No. Well, yeah, he is. He's like, well, no, he's probably average size. He's probably, well, not average, but for a wide receiver, I think he's 6'2", 212 or something.
Yeah. Let's see then.
Dawkins. They took Dawkins. Who was that? Which Dawkins?
They gave the Falcons 2 fifth-round picks.
Deion Dawkins, is that who you're talking about?
I don't know. I just saw a last name on Twitter.
Is it Daryl Dawkins?
We're on the clock.
I bet it's Deion Dawkins.
Maybe it's Daryl Dawkins to come out and break some
smash some rims.
Yeah.
Break some backboard.
What a great name Juju is, by the way.
That's some good juju, man.
Yeah.
No, hey, Tony, what if we take Jake Butt here?
Good.
No.
I like that.
That's too early.
No, he was going to be like the top tight end, dude, until he got hurt.
Why did he slip in this draft for some reason?
Let him redshirt for a year.
That Ingram went a little high.
You could redshirt him. What is that noise? What are you doing, Sean? Winding up a clock?
I think it's a child.
Oh.
Yeah, that's the future quarterback of the New Orleans Saints over here.
All right.
That's your retirement plan.
I'm not exactly sure what he's doing.
Sounded like he was winding up a clock.
Well, he's an inquisitive young man.
Was he ordering a hurricane down there on? Was he ordering a hurricane?
Tim Tizzy said DG on the phone with Sean going, "What WTF?" But he blasted it. Look, man, we shouldn't have let you meet with the dang Bills.
Yeah, we could have been jerks.
Mm-hmm. Deion Dawkins.
Yep.
A guard from Temple.
It's not dead.
Makes sense. Got to protect.
I hope we go out clean, man. Let's go out clean. I'll be a happy camper here.
No, it's still got some.
Well, I don't think the Panthers are upset with him going.
Yeah. I don't think we were targeting a guard.
I don't
What about
understand.
Cooper Kupp?
I think Jordan Willis is going to be the pick. If I had to put money on it, Jordan Willis is.
I'm looking for a defensive guy. Yeah, defensive end would be really nice.
Jordan Willis would make sense, right?
Don't get a DE this. We're going to be paying for it literally.
Yeah. And you got it. You know what? Yours. Cardboard box, and it's 2 inches.
Hey, I'm all for it.
Signed my number 37 overall prospect at number 64. Someone just tweeted that.
All right, Panthers pick is in.
Pick is in.
Wasting no time.
Who would be the 37th overall prospect? Would that be a defensive end, do we think?
Who was it that they took? Oh, yeah.
Javon Wharton is back and everything.
Wharton's making the pick.
Yes, they did it. They went offensive line.
Who'd they get?
Taylor Moton.
Taylor Moton.
Taylor Moton, a nice tackle. Sweet.
Yes.
I like it.
That's good news.
6'5", 320. Love
What do you
it.
think, David?
That's a good pick. He's a good one. I like him a lot.
Right tackle or guard.
Oh.
Very nice.
You know who Josh Norris is? Apparently, he's put
Yeah.
him as the 37th overall prospect. He was for him. So he's good. Looks like a good value at 64.
Yeah, I like that a lot.
Wow, he started 13 games at right guard, and then he started 14 games at left tackle.
She's versatile, then.
Versatile. That seems to be the theme for this draft.
Well, let's see. So he started half the time at right guard, half the time at left tackle, and they're projected right tackle.
Well, he went one full year at right guard, and then he went the next year he played a full season at left tackle.
Right,
So,
and they're saying he's a right tackle.
okay.
Now,
Well,
I guess
he's
there's
versatile. We know
Well,
that.
he's a big boy, 6'6", 320.
Ooh, that's a
So
mark.
they're definitely looking after Cam, aren't they? Finally.
Yeah, buddy. I mean, 6'6", 320. That's like Jeff Otah size. So.
Oh, I'm excited now because I tell you
If he's
what,
a good right tackler, he'd be
give Cam some time and give him some, a running back and a wide receiver. Let's see what he can do.
Yeah.
Peekaboo Jones says, dude is huge and smooth. Will be a right tackle.
All right, guys, do y'all know anybody out there with a better name than Peekaboo Jones?
It's a good name.
It's a very good name. Peekaboo.
Yeah.
Hey, Tony.
Yes, sir.
I'm just thinking next time you come over this sort of part of the world, my mum's just moved to Ibiza. Just set up a business out in Ibiza, and it's like Europe's equivalent to like Cancun.
Okay.
In terms of it's like the party capital of Europe, and it's beautiful as well. You've got to come and see it where she lives. You wouldn't believe. I'll tweet you the view. You wouldn't believe it, but it's just an incredible place to visit.
They're saying that we just traded up to number 3.
Huh?
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, shoot me a pic of it. What's it called again?
The Saints.
No, the Saints are trading up.
Oh,
Thanks.
That's 3 offensive picks, guys.
that's awesome.
Yeah, I'm still laughing at Chicago. They literally got in their own way. They literally got in their own way. Gosh, that is too
See, I wanted defense, but if we're going to go offensive line here, I'm okay with that.
Yeah, I'll take an offensive tackle, man. Moten, a lot of people are very high on the guy. I don't know enough about him. I can honestly say I didn't watch a lot of tape on him. But they say he is a very athletic, very strong offensive tackle. So I'm happy with that.
well.
You guys hope the best for us tomorrow, by the way.
Still need an Indian.
Tomorrow's the deal that we're partnering with Joe Horn
Oh, yeah.
for the tryouts are tomorrow.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So tomorrow's a tryout.
Yeah.
That would be fun.
I'm just hoping we have a decent turnout for it. Man, I've been on ESPN radio about 6 times in the past 2 weeks pushing that, and I do 2 segments. I do one segment pushing the tryouts, and then another segment doing draft stuff. I counted up. I think in the past 2 weeks I've done 14 spots.
Wow.
On the radio?
Radio, podcasts, just different stuff.
One a day, no days off, right?
In demand, pay me, no.
What are you promoting?
Our podcast is sponsoring with a former Saints player, something called the Future Stars League. It's an all-star event for 7th and 8th grade boys. They're picking an all-star team from the state of Louisiana and also from the state of Mississippi, and they meet and play one another every year. We had Joe Horn on our show February, and his agent and I just really hit things off really well, and I've kind of been their point man here, setting up media stuff and doing different promotional stuff for the event, and they made us one of the title sponsors for it, and they've also asked me to MC the banquet the night before the game.
That's brilliant.
Well, good for you, man.
Yeah, that's really good.
All right, I just saw the Browns picked on Twitter. It's the Larry Ogunjobi from Charlotte, defensive tackle.
Are there any American names left on the big board?
I know.
All right, Donald Trump.
Well, I mean, usually when you have this much trouble with pronunciation, it's baseball.
Yeah, that's true.
Hey, go easy, killer.
We're seeing more of these
referring to Latino names, so typically.
There's a lot of things that I could be there's a lot of things I could be accused of being, and most of them probably true, but racist or prejudiced towards nationalities, pigmentation, or sexual proclivity is not one of them.
Well, I can tell you, I'm not racist either because I hate them all equally. So, yeah.
Sure. Well, I've found people always talk about the way that they are, and I've just come to the conclusion that I just don't like people.
Yeah, I'm the same way.
We don't really have racism over in this country. It's never really been a thing.
You guys just don't like Muslims there.
It's not that we don't like Muslims. It's just that there's parts of the country where they're trying to take over the country.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like, you can literally live a life, right? Like, I live a normal life where I don't come across any racism, don't see any prejudice. Everyone loves everyone. But then you can watch a documentary about Luton, and there's a few thousand Muslims that honestly believe that they're going to put a burqa on the Queen within 10 years. You wouldn't believe some of the stuff that comes out their mouths.
Mm-hmm. They want to declare like Sharia law in the areas where they have the biggest population.
Yeah, that's exactly what they want to do. That's exactly what they do.
Yes,
and
it's crazy.
Well, you see a reason why we want to keep our guns to ourselves.
Yeah, look at the problem that Switzerland is having with the Muslims there and their areas of high concentration of Muslims. The police won't go in there. They can't.
Do you know why y'all need to start having babies? That's what it is. Is that when your population is declining, that you are.
I am trying, Tony. I am trying on my own. There's only so many. My girlfriend is trying every day to get me to have a baby, but
don't do it. I'm talking culturally. I'm not talking individually.
Hey, look, I'm two babies in. I still can't get served for a beer. Look at that face. But,
I feel you, brother. I feel you. I just put on 25 pounds. That's what did it for me.
Well, yeah, I've been doing that as well this year.
Yours are liquid pounds, Professor.
What's that?
Yours are liquid pounds.
They are.
So, who did the Saints take?
Witherspoon.
Yeah. Going back to the thing, Joe.
No, San Francisco took Witherspoon.
The problem they've got is that these countries letting all the immigrants.
Yeah, they did.
Oh, sorry.
Oh my God! Are you serious?
Yeah.
What?
They got Kamara?
Kamara.
Ooh.
Yeah, Joe. I was just going to say, the problem they've got is they let all the immigrants into countries like Germany.
Yes.
Like they'll do a program where they say, right, we'll take 100,000 immigrants. Yeah.
Yes.
Like, they can't speak the language, they can't find them jobs, and the problem is they can't stop them travelling between the countries that all border each other. Like, like they go from Germany, they get to Belgium, they go wherever to France, and this is the problem.
And if it was up to Tony and Aaron, we would have 100,000 of them here.
Yeah, and he just described the situation.
But the thing with the UK is the best thing about us is that we're an island. So you can't get here. Do you know what I mean? We can control who comes and who who goes. But
that's why you guys are getting out of the European Union.
That's why we've left the EU. Yeah, because we want to be able to control our own. Because everyone had a freedom of movement. Like I could literally go and move to so many countries tomorrow without any paperwork or anything. I could move to Spain, France, Italy, Germany. Just get on a plane, move there. Don't have to tell anyone because all classed as EU.
That's a good pick by the Saints right there, man.
Yeah, it is.
Who did we take?
You took Kamara.
From Tennessee.
Are you shitting me? Excuse me.
Hey.
Why? You don't like that?
That's 50p.
Not even a little bit.
Why?
Really? Why?
Unnecessary.
You don't need a running back?
You think it's bringing sand to the beach?
Who else you got besides Ingram?
Do what?
They got.
Who else besides Ingram?
They got AP.
No,
got AP. Got Lasco, who we drafted last year. We still got Cadet. We got a couple of fullbacks.
I want to ask a question. When they get to this stage, surely they can't have met everybody. So do they just at this stage just go off their scouting from attending their matches and stuff?
Yeah.
Just pure.
I would say so. Yeah. No, I'm not completely against the Kamara. I just think that at some point we're going to have to address the need for an edge rusher, and the further away from the first round that you get, obviously, the lower your talent level is going to get. I think that there should have been a much, much higher. I don't think that you met that need with simply bringing in Okafor.
Well, have you actually signed Adrian Peterson? I knew you were looking at doing it. Is he actually signed?
Oh, yeah.
Who is that?
He's on the team.
Peterson? Yes. 2 years, $7 million.
How awesome is that?
Yeah, I think they have plenty of running backs, and I really think they blew this pick because they need an edge rusher. You're right, and they should have gone defensive end or defensive.
That's right. That's like last night. I called it a knee-jerk reaction when I took issue with the picks that they made. But understand where I'm coming from. It's not saying or feeling at all that we wasted the picks in any sense, or that the players that we picked are bad in any way. All I'm saying is that we had much bigger issues that should have been addressed at that point. And at number 11, for example, you still had the pick of Barnett.
Chris Wormley was out there right there. You guys met with him. Do you know that you guys didn't even meet with Kamara according to Walter Football?
Oh my God, are you serious?
Not a bit surprised. Not a bit.
Meet with him.
They will now. They're gonna meet with him now.
Yeah, they are. You got to live with them now. You just ordered that was a mail-ordered bride.
Yeah.
Tony.
Yo.
Don't you think it's fascinating how, when we finished 8-8 and we made it to playoffs and everyone was just saying how the South was just like a joke of a division, in the space of 2 years, back-to-back Super Bowl finalists, and now, everyone seems to be drafting strong. I literally feel like we're going to be one of the strongest divisions this year. I think, no offense to Saints, I think they're the weak link, but I think any of the other three could be a real good team this year.
Yeah, I mean,
you stop and think about something. What other division in this league has 4 quarterbacks like Drew Brees, Jameis Winston, Matt Ryan, and Cam Newton?
Doesn't exist.
I mean, they're 4 of the potentially top 10.
Sure.
Yeah. I mean, here's the thing is that we're just going to have look, Tampa did it last year. They took a step forward. They're going to have to take another one, right? The Saints, I think, actually have put together some pieces that will once again make them competitive. It may be a temporary thing, because you got Drew Brees, and then you have these problems with the defensive line that you're just not getting. That's basically, you guys shouldn't ever pick offense for a long time. And but I think you're right. I think there's a good argument there. First of all, we could say this is where some people see a bad division, a lot of us see parity, and that is we beat each other up a lot. So
it's just like the analogy that people always make with the SEC. They want to talk about. They want to say that the competition level isn't as good with the SEC with everybody else. Well, that's because we beat the hell out of one another.
Yeah.
You look at football over here, yeah, and I could tell you now who the top 6 teams will be next year from this position, and you don't want that, do you? At least with a strong division, it stops one team from winning it every year, like the Patriots. I know the Panthers did it 3 years in a row, but 1 year it was very, very close, wasn't it? 8-8, could have gone either way. I like a strong division.
Yeah. Shaked said that they'll have to use some of those 10 running backs to play defense in New Orleans. The other thing is, did Swansea get kicked out of the football league, dude? Did they get relegated?
It's still going at the moment. The thing is, Tone, my team got relegated last year, so I don't really follow the Premier League this year.
Okay.
It's not been.
So what does that mean? Where do they go?
So you have your different, so you have your different divisions. So you have your Premier League, and then you have your Championship, and then you have your League One, League Two. So every year, 3 teams go down and 3 teams come up in each division. So think of it as like the Premier League is the NFL, and the Championship is like Canada, basically. It's the same equivalent, as in like it's a massive step down. You don't get as much money. You can't get as good players, and you have to finish in the top 2 to get promoted, or
to get back up.
Yeah, or if you finish between 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th, then you go into playoffs. But yeah, Swansea at 18th, which means there's 4 games left. If they're still in the bottom 3, they'll get relegated to the Championship.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds like the rules to Lisbon.
But imagine if the NFL, you've got 32 teams. Imagine if the bottom 2 teams every year got relegated
to Canada. Like the Browns, every year it would be the Browns and.
Imagine if they got replaced by two new franchises or 2 more franchises. It'd be interesting, wouldn't it?
Guys, I got to tap out.
All right, man. You have a good night, Sean.
Good luck to you guys the rest of the way, man. Thanks
you guys have. I hope you have a good turnout tomorrow.
All right, thanks, man. I'll let you guys know how we go.
All right, so that's Sean Williams. You can check out Sean Williams at Under the Dome Podcast. To follow him at Under the Dome PO1. All right. I think Peekaboo Jones said it right. It's a long way to 97 right now.
It is when it's 7 minutes to 3 in the morning.
Yeah, you're gonna be tapping out soon.
Nah, I'm all good.
All right, so the Jets are on the. Oh, Cooper Kupp just went to the Rams.
Cooper Kupp. Oh, okay.
Which I don't know very much about him, but I did read that he was the most prolific wide receiver in Eastern Washington's history. Where the heck is what is Eastern Washington? I ain't even heard of them before.
It's east of Western Washington.
Well, yeah, good football players, right? But I literally have never heard of them before.
God, he likes a 50-50 catch, though, watching him here.
Big guy wins the player of the year twice.
The thing is, I just don't think you can judge a player unless you see him playing against good people. But then again, Bradbury came from a small school and he stepped up, didn't he? So
yeah. Joe Person just tweeted Motton said that the Panthers told him he was drafted as a tackle.
Yeah, right tackle.
Yeah, I mean, obviously he's not supplanting Trey Turner.
So do you think he'll be the backup at right tackle behind Darryl?
Yeah, I think he's going to be competing. I mean, if you think about it, what does this tell us that that about Darryl Williams? You know, this is his year to either step forward or step back. You know, and
stays hurt.
You got to wonder too what this means for Orr, but I don't think we can go into the season with the expectation that this rookie and Darryl Williams are going to be fighting for the starting position. I think we got to keep Orr just in case.
So does Michael Orr get paid? So say he calls it a day, or he's still in the concussion protocol going to start the season. Does he still get paid regardless?
If he's in the concussion protocol, I would think he would be. But if he retires, I don't know how that works.
Yeah, if he's hurt, NFL injury, then he's being paid.
Yeah.
Tin Tizzy says, I'm happy with the second round and that Mel has fallen asleep. Mel, are you wearing? Is it getting past your bedtime? Like he can't even. He can't even hear me.
Yeah.
Joe dipped out for a little while. He'll be back.
Even with that backlit, profile. That.
Yeah, we don't even know if it is Mel. Yeah, we can see you. We can't hear you, though. He's talking. He's been talking the whole time. We can see you, bro. We can see you, but we can't hear you.
Flashcard.
Tom, what happened? What happened to the your Brazilian friends that you made a couple of years ago?
Who's that?
How about now?
That's it, Mel.
How about now?
Yep.
Okay. See, I've been given the most brilliant, in-depth insight for the last 30 minutes. Y'all didn't hear nothing.
Nope, we didn't. In fact, everybody thought you fell asleep. And now you got something in front of your face. Not on your face. There you go.
That's not the first time.
And it's not egg.
The way the light was, your silhouette was just so funny. It made me think of,
Pat the Elfine guy just went to the Vikings.
I saw that. That sucks. I liked him.
Can you imagine being told you got to go live there, Minnesota, in that cold?
Mm-hmm.
It is, I know that's and it's not just a little cold. It's like
that's like going to Norway.
Negative cold.
I would not be celebrating it.
No, you can't be happy about it. There's
Just
only
Carolina
one person that likes it, and that's Jared Allen.
Your nose for the next 4 years straight.
Do you get like real cold winters in Carolina? Or is it
No, not at all. They don't even exist. In fact, I don't even think we cracked below and I don't know what this is in Celsius, but we probably the lowest we got this year was maybe in the 20s for
because none of you are tanned. None of you look like you're going to sun at all.
Because we've been inside. It's been winter. I mean, it's not been warm out.
Well, I live in the middle of swamp fox land, so it's so humid. You don't want to be outside.
It's nasty, man.
You get like a similar weather to Florida, then, yeah.
Yeah.
Nah, it's not as nice as Florida.
Mailbox and back. It's horrible
in the summer.
Because my dad lives in Florida. I pop over occasionally, and it's a bit too hot for me there.
It's miserable. It's miserable.
Yeah, the humidity here is out like Florida.
Next time you pop to Florida, man, you got a place to stay in the Carolinas. Come on up.
Yeah, I'm definitely coming up. I've been talking to my brother about meeting over there in like September, October.
Right. So we'll take you to a ball game. Our treat, Carolina Cat Chronicles treat of you to go to a ball game.
It's on the boys,
I got an 1,800 square foot house and I live alone, so plenty of room for you.
That's it. I'm popping to see everyone.
Mario says that that this entire draft and even the return of Peppers has been Dave Gettleman's way of thanking Cam and basically apologizing to him.
Yeah, it's true. Very true.
Gotta be.
This one's for the rotator cuff thing. You know, this one's for the vertebrae thing.
Yeah.
This is for me saying that the offensive tackle is on the roster because he's left-handed. Comment.
This is to say sorry that Von Miller owned you.
It's like apologizing to a girlfriend or something. You know?
Yeah, it's no use. Might as well not bother.
Which one of you boys lives closest to the ground then?
That's probably got to be me. 13 feet elevation.
Closest to the ground?
13 feet.
You know what I mean? The ground is in the stadium.
I live closest to the stadium.
That would be Mel.
And how far away are you, Mel?
I'm about 10 miles.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's good then.
Come on out, bro.
I'm coming. I've got to come. And which airport would I fly to?
Charlotte.
The stadium would be pretty goddamn close.
Charlotte
International. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we'll have to have a look then.
I live 13 feet from the stadium. Must be loud.
It looks lovely. I really want to see it.
Oh, yeah. We'd love to have you, bro.
It's pretty cool.
So the Titans and the Patriots trade, man. The Patriots are a team I just don't ever want to trade with. We did.
Yeah, you just feel like you're getting ripped off every time.
Yeah.
By the way, that was our old pick.
Yes, that's right. That's right.
Yeah, the Coney Ely switch one.
Yep.
What's the answer?
All right, Shaked wants to ask, this is a good question to get us back on the Panthers and the football talk for a moment, is so far through 3 picks, what's the grade for this draft?
And I have to give a grade for Draft Tech here on Monday. Now we got another draft or another pick before I give the final draft, but I'm really pleased. You know, the Samuel pick really has thrown me a curveball. I haven't really digested that pick yet.
Yeah, like you don't know if it's a great pick or if it was an unnecessary pick, or I think this though is that look, is McCaffrey gives you speed in the running game, while Curtis Samuel is going to stretch the field. And he's going to do a lot of the things that we want McCaffrey to do while he's a wide receiver.
And he's going to do a lot of things again did last year.
You know who this hurts a lot, though? Damiere Byrd.
Yep.
I'll forget about him, you know. Because you like him because he came on, didn't he? He came on the show.
Yes, I do. And we pulled. Yeah, you're right. I mean, and he's the little guy and the underdog, and he went to University of South Carolina, and so it's good to root to people from the Carolinas because there's a ton of Gamecock fans that are Panther fans and things like that.
Yeah.
Maurice says A-. Tin Tizzy says B. Josh says B+. Shaked says B+.
I'm giving an A. I'm giving an A.
Oh, an A?
A, baby.
All right.
You get a tackle, and you get 2 playmakers on offense. That's a lot. That's really impressive.
So you don't think that us missing on Melawanfu, us missing on Camera, not going, I guess you would have had to cough up too much, right?
Right. I mean, you get multiple players. I mean, you could have given up Moton and Samuel and gotten Cam, but you got another playmaker that could be a wide receiver, and you get a potential tackle to fill in.
Yeah.
I mean, just think, next year, if we come into the same crap that we did this past year where people start going down, now we have more depth, and that can save the season. So, I like it. I like
that Samuel pick a lot. I do. I think that Samuel pick is going to be a good pick because he is, like Maurice Phillips says in the YouTube chat, is that those end arounds that we like to do again, those types of plays, he's going to be great. But he's shifty too. He's got a lot of things he can bring to the table, and probably just I think a little underrated because Ohio State probably, because they just used them so many different ways. They didn't shine in one single way so much. But like Joe said, 700 yards on the ground, 700 yards in the passing attack.
Is it okay to call him the chocolate milkshake?
Yeah, I mean, I think we got the swirl. We got the swirl. From when you get both of them from McDonald's back in the day.
Yeah, that's what we got. Nice.
You can call him whatever you want, but to me, Curtis Samuel is Pest Wild. Sorry.
What does that mean?
It's the name of my mom used to be a school teacher, and it's the name of a kid who wrote this insanely difficult to follow, rambling, run-on sentence about. It was some assignment. It's like a fifth grader or something.
That was kind of like Joe's ice up pick this past week.
And it just became a joke, we put up in the refrigerator. It was there for years. We, refer to Pest Wild.
I will say this. One time I graded a paper. Somebody submitted a paper, and it didn't have a single period in it. It was just one long. They started their sentences with capital letters, so they had these sentences. They just never put a punctuation mark to close the sentence.
Wow.
Well, this kid didn't even put capital letters except for Pest Wild. He said, "I got in a flight, not a fight, a flight with Pest Wild."
Well, what does that mean? What does that got to do with this guy?
The kid's name was Brian Samuel.
Oh,
this
okay.
guy's name is.
That was a real. All right, now we get it. Now we get it. Junkie for Fame wants to call him Salt and Pepper.
Salt and Pepper. There you go. All right. That is the second Salt and Pepper for the Panthers.
Hey, Tony,
name the first Salt and Pepper.
How old are the kids that you teach?
I teach like 18 to 25-year-olds usually.
Because I'm just about to hand in my dissertation for uni.
Yeah.
I'll send it over.
Yeah, man, no problem. I love to look at it. The only thing is, there's only one difference, and that is that you just have to account for my American English. You know what I'm saying? Like, all right, so look at this. He had, by the way, listen to this. Curtis Samuel had 771 yards on 97 carries. He averaged 7.9 yards a carry and had 8 touchdowns.
Wow. Just think if he turned into be the back of our future.
It's like a massive upgrade on Philly Brown, isn't it?
Yeah. He had, listen to this. Good God, this guy is awesome. He had 74 receptions for 865 yards. He averaged 11 almost 12 yards a catch. He had 7 receiving touchdowns. He had 15 touchdowns last year.
Wow. Well, the thing about the yards for reception, you don't know how many of that came out of the backfield. You don't know how many came from a slot.
I don't care, man. This dude had 1,636 yards from scrimmage.
Yeah, I'm not knocking it. I'm just saying the yards per reception.
Yeah, because those, if
it's mostly from the backfield. If it's from a receiver spot, that's not so high. That's what I'm saying.
All right, so check this out. We're at the 74th pick. Steve Smith went 74th back in the day. I remember being online and watching that draft and seeing in the chat room back then, people being pissed off that the Panthers would waste a third-round pick on a little sawed-off run out of Utah.
Listen to this. Jordan Willis from Kansas State. We met with him. Gone. Chris Wormley gone to the Ravens.
That's the thing. That's the thing I don't like about this draft. I would, you were asking for grades. I got to give us a B. We need a pass rusher. We really need one.
You know who we haven't heard yet? Taco Charlton.
Is he still on the board?
I haven't heard his name. He is gone?
Well, we don't pick him for 98.
He has to be gone.
Okay. I don't remember his name being called, but it must have been last night.
So the Falcons didn't waste any time putting their pick in. Oh, no, Taco Charlton's still available. Oh, no. They're saying he went to Dallas. He went to Dallas.
He went to Dallas.
That's right. I remember reading that this morning, and a lot of people were upset about it.
Yeah, he's a good player. Taco. What a great name.
So, David, what would you give, since we're talking about grades so far, what do you give Tampa Bay?
Well, I'm going to be doing our overall grade at the end of the entire draft. Right now, I'm just grading per day and per pick. I gave them an A for O.J. Howard. I'm giving them a B for Justin Evans. And we'll see what happens with this third-round pick. Looking
How
at
far out are
receiver,
you
looking at running
guys?
back, so.
All right, I'm sorry, I'm back on. I saw Carolina's moved up. Did we make a trade?
With who?
Duke Riley.
That's a good pick.
Linebacker Duke Riley.
Or did I just not know we were picking 677?
No, that was our old pick, Joe. That was the pick that we gave to.
That's a good sentiment. Dang it!
Oh wait, no, Shaked saying Panthers trade up. No way.
Really? Panthers trade up?
Yeah, that's why I'm back. I was like, what? I just looked at this and I was like, how did we move up to 78?
We're going to trade for the rights to Barnage.
I will take Barnage in a heartbeat, man.
No, I agree. I
like Barnage.
For the draft
pick? Oh my gosh, this guy just sent me a draft breakdown on Twitter. He said it's the Taylor Motton guy, and he made T.J. Watt. He just throws T.J. Watt down like a little child.
Are we talking about Mountain?
Well, T.J. Watt's actually raw, so
yeah, Moten
plays with an attitude, man. I like it.
Yeah, I sent you guys a tweet where he had talked to the Panthers, and they said that's tackle.
Yeah, I saw that. Okay, so Panthers move up to 77. We're on the clock, folks.
Yes, we are.
Who's it going to be?
Well, the Saints now we're right behind them.
Now Jordan Willis is off the board. So
Saints pick is in. It's Alex Anazolone.
That guy looks like he's related to Sunshine.
That guy looks like he's born to do commercials for Preparation H with a name like that.
Alex Anzalone.
Cardinals
Italian.
trade out of the 7. We send our pick in exchange for the third round, the 98th, and our 115th. So we are done for after this for a minute.
Well, then after 115, then it's 152.
Okay, then who are we picking? That's a question. Who did we feel was going to be?
Jake Butt. We didn't meet with him though, did we? Did we meet with him? Hold on, I'm checking this list here.
Jake Butt would be awesome.
You guys should take Cedric Thompson or Fabian Moreau. That's who I would take if I were the Panthers.
Zane Gonzalez. Gotta give everybody a push for the job.
Did I just see Dave Gettleman spit in a dip cup? Oh, there goes Greg Olson.
I told you.
What were those two names?
Fabian Moreau and Cedric Thompson.
See which one it is.
Olsen, what a stud.
Deshaun Hall.
Deshaun Hall. No.
Defensive end, there he is.
Deshaun Hall. 6'5", 266. Did we even meet with him? Let's see.
2017 NFL Draft, the Carolina Panthers select Deshaun Hall, DN, Texas A&M.
Oh, so he was opposite Homeboy.
He was opposite of Garrett, right?
We did not meet with him, I don't think, dude.
Outside against the right tackle. Sets a physical edge. Can rush the quarterback. Has some tightness in his hips. but I think he's a really good, solid pick for Carolina. They went offense early. Now they're trying to augment that defensive edge.
Is that Mayock?
Yeah, it sounds like him.
They yeah, that's a reach to me. I don't know. Maybe I don't know. They must really like him.
So
Yeah, because they traded up for him.
They traded up for him.
I had him in the not consolation picks. What am I thinking? Why can't I think of the word? Compensatory picks. I had him in the very tail end of the third round. I mean, he's not a bad player. My big thing about it is his big production came 2 years ago, and in a year where everybody's paying attention to Myles Garrett, his production didn't increase the way you would want it to. I mean,
any growth.
Yeah. And I don't know the whole story on him. I did look at him for a little bit because, like I said, the Buccaneers. I'd like to see them grab a pass rusher.
Yeah,
but
it's good to get a.
He's more of a. He's more of a. I think he's more a guy that's going to help out containing the outside run, which is why I was asking if that was Mayock, because he said something about him setting a strong edge.
That's exactly who it was. I was just getting ready to say that. Mayock just said he's good at setting the edge.
Yeah, and that's what I mean.
In a 4-3 in the end, and he has some pass rushing ability. A little stiff in the hips, is what he said.
Exactly, which right there that tells you this, he's not going to be an elite pass rusher. But I wonder too, because you guys need some linebacker help too. He might, you guys might stand him up, put him up there as a linebacker every once in a while.
What's his measurables? What's his weight?
He's 265. I think too, the thing is that what we don't need him is picking him this late. What we're just saying is that it's a developmental defensive end pick, to where, first of all, the top round defensive ends, even from the first round, it seems like that takes them 2 years to acclimate to the game, to where the offensive tackles in the league are just so much better when they go up. They can't just beat them alone with their physicality, and it becomes more of a chess match. So I really think that you see defensive ends take a big leap from year 2 to 3 generally. The really good ones from year 1 to 2. So, I mean, this is something that I think we're preparing for down the road guy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, Tony, you and I were talking about that.
That's not a bad move.
Remember?
Yeah.
No, I think, you said you had him graded as a late third rounder. Well, we didn't want to take a chance of him not being there. So we knew he was going to be our guy. So we just moved up to get him.
It only cost.
Yeah. And I mean,
us
and looking at your
pick to move up 20 spots, 24 spots. That's a pretty good jump.
It is, and we didn't give up anything huge. I mean, we gave up 2 picks.
Yeah.
Right? 2 picks. So
we knew, and we kind of thought that this was going to happen tonight, that we were going to pick somebody, or we were going to move up to get somebody at this point instead of just standing pat. But yeah, like we'll have to. I think it is a good point to say this though, is that when you've got Garrett on the other side, that should be able to help you more, and that is something is why why was that lack of production, or that continued improvement that we're referring to, why was that? Was there something else going on? Was he hurt? I don't know, but that is a good point though. I mean, you think that on the other side, when you got the top rated one in the league, that would help you more.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, you guys can get secondary help later. I mean, Eddie, there's some good names still out there for you guys to grab. I mean, Tedrick Thompson to me, I think he'd be a starter for you guys by the end of the year. So that's kind of where I would have gone specifically if I was Carolina. But corner too. I mean, you guys need help at corner. I think more than you need help at defensive end. And there's defensive ends later. There's a guy from Arkansas. I can't remember his name off the top of my head right now, but he's a good one that could come in and play in a spot role and develop for you 2 years later to replace, Charles Johnson or Julius Peppers even earlier if need be. So that's all. But I mean, again, it's all about evaluations and how much the Panthers value him.
Tim
there.
Williams just now.
Yeah, I've been waiting for
coming off the board.
I thought the Saints were going to take him when they took Alvin Kamara.
Man,
I was really surprised.
Who just went?
There's your fifth part of your defensive front seven from Alabama in one draft.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Tim Williams, he's a player, man.
One was Humphreys, Marlon Humphrey.
So what's our next pick?
Not till 157 now.
Tomorrow.
Oh, I thought you meant where are we going? I don't know.
Oh,
where
yeah.
is, but your next, it's got to be secondary. That'd be crazy.
Yeah, I agree. It has to be secondary, and it's going to be tomorrow.
Best DB available.
So you guys need to grab David Roberts.
Tell us about him.
That's my guy right there. But obviously, with the Bucs taking OJ Howard, I don't think they're going to be putting another pick on a tight end. So, but he'd be a great guy to learn behind Greg Olsen and become your future at that position.
I bet you we've already on the phone to Gary Barnage talking to his agent.
Yeah,
I like Barnage.
You know I would love that.
He was a good blocker. When he got to Cleveland, he was a touchdown machine.
Yeah,
he used to talk to me on Twitter. I mean, he was a real interactive guy on social media. You know, his nickname was the Big Green Truck. He's a great dude, man. He really is. I'd love to have him back in Carolina. I feel like we let him go just before he hit his prime. Gary Barnage.
I can't join you.
Man, I'm getting tired.
Well, yeah, the Panthers are done right now unless we trade back in.
Yeah, we're done for tonight.
Well, that's just it. I've seen in this draft overall just a bunch of trades.
Now, I called it. I said I think you were going to be surprised at the number of trades in this draft.
You did say that.
Tony, when you asked us,
you did say that.
Well, I mean, not so much the first round, although there were a few there. It's the ones in the second and third so much.
There's been a lot of action. I just didn't see the action in the first. You know, I mean, we thought there was going to be some, but it was from none of the teams we thought it was going to be from.
Exactly.
Isn't that always how it is? You know?
I agree there.
Yeah, that first round was crazy.
Sad, dude.
I'm convinced the Bucs would have traded back had Howard not been there.
Really?
When he fell into their lap, I was like, this guy.
They said that I read today that OJ Howard was in serious consideration for the Panthers at 8.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they said it was down to between Jamal Adams, OJ Howard, and Christian McCaffrey.
What did he slip to? It's like 17 or something?
Or CMC.
I've never been in.
The Bucs picked him up at 19.
19, okay.
Crazy.
Yeah, and then Malik Hooker was down there too, I think.
Top 10 talent.
Yeah, Malik Hooker went 15, I think.
9 players from Alabama went this year, 6 from OSU, 5 from LSU.
And the draft ain't half over with.
1 from ECU.
Hey, I wish we would have gotten him.
2 from LSU, 3 from LSU. Adams, Fournette.
He's gonna do nothing in Buffalo.
The lineman.
Who?
Posted.
Zay Jones.
I think he went to the Rams.
Zay Jones went to the Bills. Cooper.
Oh, he did go to the Bills? Okay, it was the Rams pick then that they traded, I guess.
Here's Basham. That's right. Indy. I liked him. I thought he was the first.
Yeah, Terrell Basham's another one. He would have been a good one for you guys too.
Yeah.
I go Tiger.
All right. Has anybody made a pick yet? Oh yeah, Basham. Yeah, okay, that's what you guys were just.
That is the coolest name for a defender, Basham.
Oh man, that is awesome.
All right, so just to recap the picks since the Panthers pick, it was Deshaun Hall, the Panthers. Is it Deshaun Hall? Is that how you like?
Close enough.
But then Tim Williams goes to the Ravens, outside linebacker from Alabama. Our Darius Stewart goes to the Jets on a trade from the Vikings. Wide receiver from Alabama. 2 Alabama picks right back to back. And then Terrell Basham, Colts, defensive end, 6'4", 269, with the coolest name ever.
That's interesting. Alabama really had a ton of talent on that roster, man.
Yeah.
Joe, you know what else is interesting?
Because of it, yeah, whatever.
Have you guys seen the video of Justin Evans popping his leg back into place?
No, and nor do I want to see that.
It's pretty impressive.
Because that was Bo's injury. He did do the same thing on his when his career.
Look here, Dante Foreman is still out there, and Perrine is still out there, according to Keith Warlick. And he also wants a kicker because he hates Gano. Don't worry. Well, I would say worry.
We're not drafting a kicker. We'll bring in a free agent or two, but we're not drafting a kicker.
Yeah, 7th round if he's around.
Not only any NFC South team is going to draft a kicker after what happened to the Bucs last year.
I'd rather have a.
Well, they drafted him in the 2nd round or the first. What was it? I mean, 7th round pick.
And is he like? Didn't you guys go out and get competition for him now?
Yeah, sure did.
God, poor guy. It's y'all's fault. I mean, for taking him in the 2nd round.
Never.
I agree.
Like it just straight got in his head right away.
I don't even think that's got in his head though, because looking at him last year, I remember looking at him since he was tied to the Bucs so early. He's the most accurate kicker in college football history, and that's great. But looking at a lot of his kicks, a lot of them eked into the goalpost.
Yeah,
the goalposts of the NFL level are closer together than in college. So those kicks that barely made it in the college level don't make it in the NFL level.
Yeah, plus, I heard that he doesn't have the range that a lot of kickers have. He's like average foot.
Right. Yeah. He's not. He's not a Jason Elam.
Right. He's not going to be kicking them from 60.
Right. So, I wanted him to take Von Bell, but
no Legatron. All right.
He went to New Orleans. There goes Fabian Moreau, though. Was the guy, the other guy I was talking about.
Who'd he go to?
Washington.
Man, you know what is Washington might be having. I'm talking about having one of the better drafts out of a team, and they don't even have a GM. What the heck?
That's the secret. Because they could not bother. Their GM could not have a good draft. They could not put together a good draft. So maybe that's what they need is no GM.
Hey,
Dan overrules them anyway. So what's the difference?
Yeah, you're right.
Broncos taking Carlos Henderson.
Oh, that's a guy a lot of people like in Carolina.
Yeah, I was hoping he'd be there when the Bucs got on the clock.
Henderson?
How happy does Cam Newton have to be with these 3 picks, though?
Well, he should be happy.
Man, I'm sure he is. He's grinning ear to ear on his couch.
He has to be. 2 weapons plus a defender, a protector. Yeah.
I mean, if you guys had Moton in the Super Bowl, you might have won that thing.
That's right.
Yeah, we said it.
Instead of Remmers.
And McCaffrey.
Well, Remmers is a pretty low bar to cross.
Yeah, that's true.
I cannot believe
it's going to be fun to see what Quan Alexander does with Christian McCaffrey and see who wins that battle, because that's going to be interesting.
Man, he's really just become the guy. How did he supplant what's his name basically as the guy? I mean, like Quan Alexander is the guy that everybody loves on that defense more than anybody.
Yeah, I mean, he's just he's the classic underrated. Being a Buccaneers fan is not easy, as many of you like to point out from time to time. But it's a fan base that's used to having an underrated team or an underperforming team. So to see a guy who is so underrated come in and just immediately just flash and show all kinds of potential.
I like Levante David.
Yeah, everybody loves Levante David, but he's kind of just done what everybody expected him to do. So
yeah,
it's kind of unfair for him because he doesn't have the fan support that he probably should. But That's why Quan is so popular with the Bucks fan base. Is he was looked at as a special teams contributor when he was drafted, and then before we even get out of the game one of the preseason, he's starting at middle linebacker. So
underdog done good.
I'd also like to ask you about what has been going on with Gerald McCoy, or what. First of all, I've seen some of the meanest things come out of Tampa Bay Buccaneer fans about this guy. But they kept saying that essentially every offseason he reinvents himself as a person is one thing I read. What is going on with him?
Well, I mean, he was like his knock when he was coming out of college into the draft was what looked like a low level of passion. He loves playing the game, but on the field, he's not that that spark plug kind of player. And he didn't come soon after Warren Sapp, but coming after Warren Sapp, playing the same position as Warren Sapp, that's what a lot of fans wanted, was a guy who's going to yell and scream and jump around and do all this craziness, and that's just not Gerald's game. So having a guy like Jameis on the team and having a guy like Quan in the linebacker group helps him because he doesn't have to be that guy anymore. But yeah, I mean, every year he kind of recommits himself, and it's because he gets a lot of flack from the fans, and he's trying to be that team representative. He's not trying to be the guy who's, competitive against the fans and coming back at them when they come at him. So I think he's taking the high road, but at the end of the day, he is who he is, and he's effective at what he does.
Because I think everybody else, because I think the expectation was that he's going to be the best defensive tackle in the league, and he's had a hard time. I mean, he's been good, right? But
he came out with Sue, right?
Yeah, he came out with Ndamukong Suh,
like 1-2 or something.
Yep, but you know what? But to be fair, Gerald McCoy, though, look at the defensive line and look at the defense in general that Gerald McCoy's been playing on. I mean, he's been pretty much carrying that line his entire career until really last season. And to be putting up the numbers that he is putting up from the middle of the defensive line against the quarterbacks that he's playing against on top of it, I mean, it's pretty impressive when you look at what he's doing comparatively. There's not a lot of defensive tackles who could carry their unit and get sacks enough anyway to warrant Pro Bowl selections against quarterbacks like Drew Brees, Cam Newton, and Matt Ryan. It's so I think he's not getting the credit he deserves, maybe.
Right.
Well, the other thing is he's getting the attention from the offensive line that the other line.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, there's times you see that guy, the center and both guards collapse on him, and there's still no pass rush, and then people want to hate on Gerald McCoy because he's not on the field jumping around. I can only imagine how tiring it is to try to fight 3 offensive linemen off.
Yeah, I mean, that's literally like a half a ton of people.
Right.
I mean, come on. 3 guys hit Leonard Fournette like that. He couldn't even handle it. So, he even has his limit. I'm not going over the top here because I've taken so much flack for liking the guy, apparently.
It's like Ken's first love. Like, he just can't let it go.
No, Bo Jackson is. The thing is, he's the closest thing I've seen to it, and I'm just
Fournette's the rebound chick. Fournette is the rebound chick over Bo Jackson.
The rebound.
Well, I mean, you can laugh all you want. I appreciate a great athlete. Sorry, they're fun to watch. I used to love to watch Barry Sanders in the '90s. He was my favorite player. I didn't care about Detroit, but I'd watch their games when I could just to see Barry Sanders play. So.
Yeah, running back's my favorite position to watch. I have a lot of fun watching many running backs.
Because he was just as likely to lose 7 yards as gain 7.
Right.
I mean, you just never know.
So the Patriots pick is on deck.
Derek Rivers. That's a good pick.
I hate the Patriots.
What's scary though is the Jags getting an offensive lineman like that. If they're building that, then look out. If he's going to get some blocking, oh my gosh, it's going to be ugly.
He's from Kinston, North Carolina.
Did they get him?
Yeah.
Who just went? They went the Derek Rivers guy.
Sure. Derek Rivers, yeah.
Man, this
Princeton,
football
North
field
Carolina.
is red. His football field was red.
The home of Jerry Stackhouse.
Is it really?
Yeah. It's about
Jerry
30
Stackhouse?
minutes from where I live at, and it's like the worst, like the murder capital of our state.
2 for 1 barbecue platters.
Guess you kill one customer, you can give the other one their food.
Exactly. So the Buccaneers pick is in.
Yeah. Let's see what they do.
They select Myles Garrett.
I want either Marlon Mack or Chris Godwin.
How do you guys already have your cheese? I don't know. You have to go back to the start and get them?
Somebody get that kid some cheese.
Uh,
No, we can't hear you, Jay Cryer. All right. I am trying to figure out what the
Zombies move out of my way.
lyrics to that Missy Elliott. Put that thing
Ryan,
work it.
Ryan Neese. I don't even remember Ryan Neese.
They took Godwin.
Yeah, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Oh, I don't know what's going on then. I just thought, no, everyone was just ignoring me.
No, we couldn't
We're
hear
not
you.
going to ignore you, brother.
Gentlemen, the Buccaneers just won the NFC South. I'm just letting
What
you know.
did you guys do?
Chris Godwin is amazing.
Chris Godwin.
Look at that offensive lineup right there.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys are watching NFL Network or not, but
I'll tell you, the Buccaneers are loading up on offense, man.
I'm telling you. I am telling you.
They're giving Winston the tools that he wants. So.
Weapons for Winston. That's been the offseason mantra.
Oh man, nice.
I'll tell you
it has
what,
a nice
the
ring
difference
to
is
it.
you do that in year 3 for Winston instead of year 7 for Cam.
Yeah.
You know, it's smart.
Oh man, I've been pulling for Chris Godwin all offseason. I've been hooked to that guy since I saw him.
Good for you, man.
Tight end and wide receiver. A couple good ones. Yeah.
Now I just need him to trade back in the 3rd round and draft Marlon Mack.
I hope you guys go 14-2 and lose the NFC South.
Fair enough.
I need to get my cheese.
What's the size on him, David?
6'1", 212.
Yeah, he's a nice balance of he's got enough. He's got
210.
Underrated strength for his size. He's got good speed to get down the field. He's a good balanced receiver. And give him a couple years to learn from Mike Evans and learn from Deshaun Jackson. He's going to be a nice number 2 come like 2018, 2019. He's going to be a really good number 2 receiver for the Bucs. That's an awesome pick.
Well, he's from
I love
Penn
that
State.
pick.
How do you comp him with Allen Robinson? He sounds like the same size and a similar type player.
I'm trying to think, who did I comp him to in my scouting? I scouted him so early because I was so in love with him. I'm trying to remember who. I think it's going to sound a little bit crazy, but I think I comped him to Antonio Brown. Just because, not because of like that's his talent level right now, but more
There's
of his
not a
place.
lot about him on
But
NFL.com.
a couple years to become a star too. So
Right, and it's more of a play style type of thing. Like he's not afraid of contact, but he definitely likes to take smart angles and he likes to get moving with the ball when he's got it.
Dude even looks like Antonio Brown. Look at his his picture on NFL.com.
He does,
You got buckwheat hairdo too.
A little bit.
Hey, David.
Yeah.
Tell us about Russell Shepard.
Russell Shepard, I love Russell Shepard. He's awesome. He's a locker room leader. He's an on-the-field leader. He's going to do whatever the Panthers need him to do to be successful. And I'm so mad that you guys got him, but it makes too much sense. The Buccaneers couldn't pay him the money and give him the playing time that he was looking for. He's not the greatest receiver in the world, but I mean a solid number 4, especially if you guys put like McCaffrey out there in the slot. You know what I mean? Just get him. He's a big, tall guy with strength, and he's not afraid to take a hit over the middle. So I mean, he's a guy that's going to make some splash plays. He's not going to be like, don't take him on your fantasy team, but you're going to get some really good plays out of him in key situations. And I really hope it doesn't come against the Bucs.
You get 30, 40 yards a game out of him, something like that.
Pepper, he's awesome. He was definitely a fan favorite. It sucks to see him go.
I'll take it.
That's what we like, innit? Leaders.
Yeah.
He was a special teams captain too,
Yep,
right?
he was special teams captain for a long time. So he's a legit guy. You guys are doing pretty well, actually. You guys are gonna have a nice comeback season. It's gonna be interesting.
It's gonna
I don't know who's
it's
gonna
be a real
win
interesting
the
year.
NFC
I think
South.
every team in the NFC South has gotten better.
Yeah, I'd say so.
By the way, guys, don't feel me wrong on this Christian McCaffrey thing. That the problem I have, well, the worry I have is still short yardage situation, power situation.
That's what you got Cam for.
Well, that's just it. We're getting all this help for Cam. So what do? We take away the power and make him run the power plays where you get hit.
I think Stewart can handle it.
Stewart can handle it. You got. I mean, that's the least of our worries, in my opinion.
Yeah. But you still got guys like James Conner. You can get him late. Jamal Williams, you can get late.
What about Perrine?
I don't like Perrine, honestly, personally, but I know some guys at the Pewter Plank like him a lot. He's definitely a power guy. So, I mean, he's a guy you can get the ball and just tell him to run straight, and he'll do it. So
5'11", 235 pounds.
Yeah, he wouldn't be a bad guy either if that's all you're looking for.
A 3 yards in a cloud of dust guy right now.
Right.
We don't really have one except Stewie.
And even, I mean, looking really like Davion Smith out of Michigan, he's a guy you guys could look at. So, I mean, there's still time to get a guy that you can just run into a wall if you need to.
And we got what about our the fullback we got, Rockhead? He was a running back too.
See, I was going to say with the addition of McCaffrey and Samuel, I think that brings back into play the necessary need or the necessity for a fullback like Rockhead, right? I mean, before we didn't really use a fullback. I mean, Colbert was not a fullback.
No, he's not one.
But now you could bring in somebody like Rockhead and really use him.
Go ahead and finish. Sorry.
The fullback position really helped rejuvenate. Tennessee. Now I understand that they go out and get one of the leading rushers in DeMarco Murray, and then draft a monster of a player in Derrick Henry. But they go from one of the worst running attacks to one of the best, maybe the second best in the league last year, and a lot of it DeMarco Murray credits to having a strong fullback. So, is that the fullback position is not dead in the NFL. It's just teams have to be willing to use it.
Right.
Right. And that's what I was going to say. When we got the fullback, that's what kind of made me think when we might actually be looking for Fournette, because that's what he likes to do is follow his fullback.
Oh, we were looking for Fournette. We were just not willing to trade all of our 2017 draft for him. I mean, they said today on the War Room that, everybody on the team was ready. They loved him. It's just he wasn't there.
Yeah, I think that was probably the worst kept secret in the NFL. Is that how much?
Oh, yeah, and just saying,
there's
probably too much to gamble was what it is on one guy.
Yeah, I mean, we would
kept secret was how much Chicago wanted Trubisky.
That was the best kept secret. You're dang right.
That was ridiculous. Yeah.
I saw this big. So there's this thing, and I might have already said this today. I said it on Pirate Radio. Have you seen those memes that are going around that have what do you do after you smoke this? And they'll show somebody smoking like a huge bowl or some giant spliff or something. So I've seen one where it was like this old guy and he was using his microwave and he thought it was a computer and he was sitting there with his keyboard and stuff. But they did one of those today and they put the Bears pick a trade up. This is what you do after you smoke this. I mean, they had people, the Bears fans were crying, and I mean, the guy that I went on the radio with today, he owns the radio station, and he was freaking livid, man. Just cursing up.
They literally got in their own way.
Yeah,
literally. You can't get more.
My thing is nobody else wanted them. If the Browns weren't going to take them, you know what I'm saying? It's not like anybody else was.
Right.
Once he got past the Browns, you should have been fine.
Hey, boys, I'm going to shoot. I'm getting tired now.
All right, man.
Yeah,
Hey, man, thanks for joining us, man. It was great.
It's a pleasure, boys. It's been good. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, man.
Take care, bro.
We'll
See you next time.
Yeah, we'll catch up soon anyway.
Yep.
Keep pounding, boys.
Yeah.
Pounding them beers.
See you soon.
All right. Well, hey, I said to myself I could not tap out before Jay did, considering he's 5 hours ahead of us. But I'm not far behind him.
Yeah, me too.
Well,
We're almost done. What pick are we at?
so the New York Giants just took a quarterback, Davis Webb, out of Cal.
Yeah.
All
6'5", 230.
What number pick are we on? We are on
87.
Oh,
so we're
God.
coming up on 88.
All right, let's see. There's nobody else. All right, I say this is we call it.
Let's call it.
Because we only got 15 minutes left on the Facebook live stream. So so they got a 4-hour limit. We've been going for 3 hours and 45 minutes strong. All right. Everybody, let's go. We'll start with our guest, David. Tell everybody where they can find your work. I know you guys have been working on a podcast for the Pewter Plank, and also you've been doing a tremendous amount of work for this draft.
Yeah, I love doing all that stuff, and all my Buccaneers specific stuff is on pewterplank.com. Some of my draft stuff is on there. It's also on profootballspot.com. And then like I said, the podcast called Walking the Plank. We've been doing it for about 9 weeks now, and had to it. And I appreciate you guys having me on here, Joe. I appreciate the invite.
Yeah, fantastic. Thanks a lot, everybody.
Glad to
Go
have you, man.
check out that podcast, guys. Support your local podcasters and independent type media entities. Even though he's got SB Nate, you're still basically independent with a sponsor.
Yeah.
So everybody support that. Ken Dye, you can follow him on Twitter at Ken Dye, right?
Yeah, Ken_Dye.
Ken_Dye. And Mel Mayock, he lasted
he's up way past his bedtime.
He's like 3 hours past his bedtime.
Yeah.
Yes,
when you come,
yes.
Joe, when Mel comes and visits me in Greenville, you know where I'm going to take him to eat? The Dixie Queen in Winterville, where everybody eats dinner there at 4:00. Yep, all the people they're waiting in line at 4:00. Then their dinner rush is over by 5:30.
That's just rude. Screw with someone's dinner time while they have jet lag.
All right, so Mel, tell them where they can find you on Twitter, and I know you got some stuff coming out on Draft Tech.
At Panthers Drafter, catch me anytime, and then at drafttech.com, I'm the analyst out there giving the grades for the Panthers, writing up every pick as they go. So check us out.
All right, Joe. I can't believe I got to say this, dude, but I have to brag on this. Is that somehow, because Panther Nation is awesome, or somebody jacked our video last night, our 4th annual draft show got over 5,400 page views on YouTube.
Yeah, baby.
Now, that is like a 10,000% increase from our regular podcast. So, I don't know what that means, but thank you guys.
The draft helped a little bit.
Okay? Yep. And we are now, tonight, we got the show on, we had the show on Periscope. We had the show, I think we're still on Periscope unless they have a time limit. Yeah, we're still on Periscope Live. We have Facebook Live, and we're on YouTube Live, Joe. We've been kicking butt, and we've had about 10 guys in the YouTube chat that have been with us through the entire 2nd and 3rd round. So, Joey, I'm awesome. Really proud of that.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, that is awesome. Thank you guys so much. C3 fans, we really, really appreciate your support. Guys that have joined us tonight, Sean, Jay, David, Ken, we really appreciate you guys being willing to spend this time with us and, give us your analysis, your opinions. It really makes a difference when a whole bunch of people that really, really are passionate about one thing, and for all of us, it's football.
Yep. All right. It's kept friends close, and you know what they say is that we do this because we are fans of football, and that's all we do it for. Because we've got family, we've got jobs, we've got all these things going on. But man, football brings us together. So look, football without the fan, football is just a kid's game, folks. So we will be breaking all this down on Tuesday night for the C3 podcast. We've got the rest of the draft we'll be talking about. We'll probably be trying to pick some people's brain, maybe even get some special guests for Tuesday night. But until then, keep pounding, folks.
Keep pounding. Go Panthers.
Go Panthers.
Right, and all end.